Hello and welcome to build up to a friendly game. Just half an hour away from kickoff as Luton Town take on West Ham United this afternoon, and the game is available to watch free on West Ham's YouTube. Happy days! That's the good news we're all looking for, and so we can all get a good stream of the match. Hopefully, we don't have to use that stupid app. I don't like that app. In the last couple of weeks, I've built up this real sort of hatred for the West Ham app, but it's on YouTube today. Happy days. Anyway, we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to take a little look at the West Ham starting 11 this afternoon. Quite interesting. A few absentees as well. So in goal is Alphonse Areola. It looks like we're playing a back five today. I'll get on to why I think we're playing a back five. And I don't think it's the reason many people think we're playing a back five. So at the back, we've got Ben Johnson, Kurt Zouma, and Aaron Creswell. By the looks of it, I'd imagine that's our three centre-backs. We've got Soufal right wing back with Rice and Souček in the middle. Masuaku left wing back with Fornals, Bowen and Ben Rama as the front three. Now, it could be a back four. Ben Johnson probably sitting centre back next to Zouma if that's the case. And then Creswell left back and Masuaku further up. But it might also be a back five. And I assume it's a back five for West Ham today. Now, I've seen a lot of people assuming it's because, well, we're heavily linked to Filip Kostic, Frankfurt's left wing back, aren't we? So I think a lot of people are expecting maybe we're trying three at the back with the idea of getting Kostic in at left wing. I think it's just because we've only got one senior centre back. I think it's as simple as that. I think it's because we've got Zouma there. We can play Creswell left centre back, Ben Johnson right centre back, positions that they're both relatively familiar with. And should we want to use this formation going forward into next season? Like we know Moyes always likes to have Creswell left centre back, if not Johnson right centre back. So I think it's just personnel that's available because we've got no Craig Dawson due to injury. He misses out completely again. We've got no Issa Diop, who was earlier on in the week. It was in Miami. So a bit random, isn't it? Diop's just randomly in Miami. Is he close to a move away? We'll have to wait and see. But he's in Miami. We've also got Neef Agerd injured as well. Some good news on that, I suppose. Some reports suggest he could be back for the Man City game. Others, the Moroccan side of things, suggest he's out for 3 months. So we'll have to wait and see. But he's obviously not involved this afternoon. So we've only got one fit senior centre-back, and that is Kurt Zouma. So I think it's sort of forced into the back three. I'll just click on this one, Jasper. I've just seen this comment. I'm aware that the way that the West Ham team have done the graphic, but what I will always say is the West Ham media team do not know the formation that David Moyes is playing. The media team just get a list of 11 players as the starting lineup, and that's that. They don't know if Moyes is playing three at the back. They've almost got to guess themselves to some extent. And going by their graphic, I think they're guessing it's a back four, but their graphic would also suggest, if you're going by the way they've ordered it, their graphic would suggest that Creswell's centre back with Kurt Zouma and Ben Rama is up front. So I don't think you can read too much into how the media team do it. Because like I say, I think they just get a list of names from the management team. No, it's not squad numbers, Oliver. For example, Declan Rice and Thomas Souček are in the middle of it, and Rice has obviously got the biggest number in the squad, number 41, so it's not numerical order either. So I don't read too much into the way that the media team do the graphic. The bench for West Ham United this afternoon, possibly just as interesting as the starting 11, is Randolph and Trott. No, Lucas Fabianski. Fabianski is not in the squad today, so whether that's just Moyes just leaving him out or there's a little injury there that we're unaware of, we'll have to wait and see. But Randolph and Trott's on the bench. Jamal Baptiste continues on the bench, and Harrison Ashby's back. He was missing on Tuesday night against Rangers. He's back on the bench tonight. But it does also mean no Ogbonna. So when we're talking about the senior players being out, Ogbonna is also not available. He's been very carefully managed so far in pre-season, only playing, he's been playing lesser minutes than everybody else, hasn't he? Was missing on Tuesday, and he's missing again today. So I have to assume there's something going on with Ogbonna as well as Fabianski. We've also got Connor Coventry, Flynn Downs, and Manuel Lanzini is on the bench. Armstrong Okaflex has been recalled to the first team. He was playing with the under-21s last week rather than the Rangers game, but he's back with the senior squad today. Rubama is also on the bench, as well as Nikola Vlasic and Mikel Antonio. So that's the way the West Ham lineup today. Jared Bowen likely to be the striker as well. Antonio will be coming off the bench. He'll still get decent minutes, but I do think we sort of stretched Antonio a little bit against Rangers, gave him 70 minutes under his belt or whatever. So I'd imagine this is why we're sort of flipping it round and giving Antonio a bit less minutes. Next Saturday, I imagine we will see what Moyes is thinking about the Man City game, but this one is still about fitness. But I do think Moyes will be wanting to see a little bit of a reaction, actually. Yes, I forgot about this. You're right, Adrian. Sorry, I forgot about that. Ogbonna was involved with the youngsters game. He was. So Ogbonna did play an hour for the under-21s as well. So that's that as well. Happy days. So, yeah, I think Moyes will be looking for a little reaction. I know it's only a friendly game, but on Tuesday night after the defeat against Rangers, I felt Moyes was pretty angry, actually. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're wanting to see him get a little bit of a reaction. Today's big performance. Good to see Declan Rice start alongside Thomas Souček. I did think our midfield was a little bit off balance on Tuesday with Rice next to Lanzini. Hopefully it'll look a bit better. And I thought Souček looked quite good. Pleased to see Soufal continuing. I thought he looked sharp when he came on as well. So, yeah, plenty of senior players out there. I guess Masuaku is the one you'd look at and think probably the only player that's not going to be involved against Manchester City, or you'd certainly hope not either. But it looks like 3 back for West Ham anyway. Right, let's take a look at the Luton Town squad. A couple of names on the team sheet that we'll recognise being West Ham United fans. In goal, they've got Horvath. They've also got James Bray, Reece Burke, former West Ham United Academy player. Of course, they've also got Gabe Osho, Sonny Bradley. Alfie Doughty plays alongside Luke Berry with Alan Campbell in midfield. Jordan Clark. They've also got Harry Cornick as well as Adebayo up front, who a lot of people, a lot of our subscribers, I say a lot, a handful of our subscribers on Hammers Chat, I've been very, very keen on Adebayo for quite a while, actually, then hoping that West Ham would go in and get him from Luton Town. So it'll be interesting to have a little look at him today in a little bit more detail and see if he does appeal to more West Ham United fans. The bench, I'll quickly run through this, but again, more West Ham connections on the bench this afternoon for Luton. We've got Isted as well as Macy, Potts, Lockyer, Morris, Woodrow, Haygrath, Mendes, Gomez, Musqui and Pereira on the bench for Luton Town this afternoon. So there you go. That's your Luton team and your West Ham United team for this afternoon. Right, we're going to take a little look at the live chat. Get what you're thinking into the live chat. Can be about the West Ham team, the Luton team, what you're hoping to see today as well. And if you fancy a little bit of transfer talk today, I won't blame you. I'll probably click on those comments as well, so feel free to put them in. Yeah, there was no Snodgrass. I was looking forward to seeing him. And also Henry Lansbury. I don't know if they're still at Luton Town. I don't know if their contract's expired and they've left Luton. I couldn't tell you if they're still part of the squad. But certainly the pair of them were part of Luton last season when they got to the playoffs. So, yeah, no Snodgrass and no Henry Lansbury. Just a reminder, the game is on YouTube. The game will be streamed on YouTube over on West Ham's YouTube channel. Don't go looking for it yet. You probably won't find it. They tend to not really bother putting up a link until 5 minutes before kickoff. So don't go looking for it. Stay with us. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. But it's live on YouTube, so you don't really need to go. No panic. We'll get a good stream today. We're happy. Right then, let's see what you guys are saying. Here we go. Doug says, I think we're putting a good performance today. So close to the start of the season. While Sam's very concerned how many centre-halves are missing. No Guerd, Dawson and now Diop. Bought a play for the reserves yesterday. We're in a very desperate state. The Diop one's a bit strange. I mean, obviously the Guerd one, fine, we know what happened. Dawson, this is the 4th friendly he's missed in a row now, so that injury must be pretty substantial to some extent. How big it is, we'll have to wait and see. But the Diop one's weird. Earlier on in the week, he was in Miami, but yet yesterday we saw that video clip of him and Zuma standing on a podium dancing with a 360 camera whizzing around their feet. So I don't know. It's a bit of a difficult one. Maybe we're keeping him sort of looked after so we can sell him, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Diop, in all honesty. Ben wants to see Okaflex. He's great pre-season last summer, but hasn't played very more. Hammerhead, Costas and Skamaka, do they walk into lineup as an improvement? Start them both. I think at least one of them would. I think funny enough, I think it would be Kostic that walks into the starting 11. I understand a lot of people say Skamaka does as well. I think Antonio's got a lot of credit in the bank with David Moyes, rightfully so. If we were to sign both today, I would bet Kostic starts against Man City and Scamacca doesn't, and Antonio would be the striker against Man City. Just my opinion as to what I think Moyes would do, that's all. I've not seen any news, Paul, about Dawson. Not seen anything. Hopefully Moyes asks about it today. Alan Dawson, still my favourite subscriber YouTube name on here. Every time I see him comment, I smile a little bit. I still like that name. Have Gold, Sullivan, Beatty and Kretinsky pulled rank on David Moyes and done the deal for Scamacca? I'd like to think not, because they could have done it with Dan Juma by the sounds of it, and they didn't. I think there is a reaction there from West Ham or from David Moyes with, I think, the loss to Rangers and missing out on Jesse Lingard happened essentially in the same evening, didn't it? So I think that two things combined with Chelsea sort of dithering, to use David Moyes' nickname, with Armando Broja, I think the three things as a collective is probably sort of put a rocket up West Ham, thought we can't afford to wait and see what Chelsea do. The manager's saying we're not getting it. Maybe we just have to accept the manager's word and go after our second target, Gianluca Scamacca. So I'd like to think they're not pulling rank. I like to think it's just Moyes being a bit decisive. Decisive Dave. We've got Decisive Dave this summer. Ben wants to see Vlasic. Yeah, I think so. I would like to see a bit more of Vlasic. I think he's looked quite sharp in pre-season. I thought his goal against Reading was excellent. I thought he looked busy against Rangers, like you said. So it would be nice to see him come on at half-time anyway. Jake, is it a done deal? I believe, this is what I believe. I believe at the minute it's done between the clubs, 30.5 million plus 5 million of add-ons plus 10%. If we sell them in future, they get 10% of the fee. The personal terms I don't believe are agreed yet. I think that's what's happening at the minute. That's negotiations that's ongoing right now between West Ham and Scamacca and his agent, who is also the agent for Kostic. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've got an open line of communication with the agent and we're essentially negotiating with two sets of personal terms. And then once Scamacca's personal terms are done, he will then fly over to London in order to undergo his medical. I believe he's travelled to Rome to get ready to fly to London, essentially. That's the reports from the Italy side of things, that Scamacca's pretty much ready to get on the plane. The personal terms need to be accepted first, though. But interesting that Kostic and Scamacca have got the same agent, and we're trying to get both deals done at the same time. I mean, that agent's in for a bit of a payday from West Ham, isn't he? He's in for a little bit of a windfall. So it'll be good, though. It'll be good. I like both. I say like both signings. I'll be honest with you. Never heard of Scamacca, but I'd heard of him because he's supposed to be sort of Italy's next number 9, and so I hadn't seen him play. But I've almost convinced myself he's going to be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic or something when he comes to West Ham. I'm quite excited about the transfer, having not really seen him very much, to be honest with you. But he's a player that's got a reputation, and I often think if I've heard of a player from Serie A for his reputation purposes, it feels like a bit of a coup for West Ham without really seeing the player play, if that makes sense. I'm a bit more excited for Kostic now. Originally, I was a bit downbeat about it because I assumed it would be coming in to play left back, and I'm not keen on that. But in regards to playing left wing back, should we play with that and a left winger? I think he's a fabulous player, really, and he will certainly create a lot of chances. Very direct, crossing's fantastic. So I do like Kostic. Scamacca, there's only so much excitement I can get without having seen him play loads. We do have a fantasy league team. I'll find it for you. I'll find it before the end of the show, and I'll get the code on the screen, and you can all go join it if you want. Thanks, Fremmer. As you said, do like and subscribe. Like the video if you're watching it, please. Thank you very much. And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. We've got a bit of an ambitious target. We haven't told anyone yet. I'll tell you guys. We'd like to hit 35,012 before the final whistle on the final game of the season, because that was the final capacity of the Bowling Ground. So I'm sort of stealing the boys over at West Ham Fan TV when they got to 60,000. A bit different, I know. But that was their target, because that means that they'd fill the London Stadium. And I quite like the idea. So we'll do it with the Bowling Ground. So I'm pinching their idea. So 35,012 people, that's our target for the season. A bit of an ambitious one, but hopefully we can get there. Jack says, reckon we're playing Johnson, Zuma, Creswell at the back with Masuaku get ready for Kostic. No, just quickly, Jack, I mentioned at the start, but I appreciate a lot of people have only just joined. I don't think it is because of that. I think that's what we're playing. But I think it's because of personnel available, i.e. just Kurt Zuma being our only senior centre-back, sort of forced it a little bit. But like I said, Johnson and Creswell have played in the back three before. I don't recall them playing there at the same time. Did they do it against Chelsea, where they must have been, right? Because Dawson was only fit centre-back. But I'd imagine next season, if we do see three at the back, it will be Zuma, Aguerd, and Johnson or Creswell. One of the two of them, plus the two centre-backs as well, because we do like to have that full-back in there for sort of the ball-playing side of things. Liam, are you inclined to believe Aguerd is out for months will be fit? I think the truth lies in the middle, and this is just guessing, Liam. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, which I don't think he'll quite make Man City, but I don't think it's quite 3 months either. So I think he might miss a couple of games, but that's all. But I'm purely just guessing here. I've not heard anything. I've only seen what you've seen, Liam. Harrison's very nervous about the Kostic rumours. He's quite similar to Vlasic. I'm surprised Frankfurt's doing business with us, because we really took the mick with the Sebastian Haller payments, didn't we? Because remember, we owed them 5 million. I think it was 5 million. We owed them 5 million at the end of the season. But then the end of the season got delayed because of COVID. So COVID came round and it got postponed. The season got postponed, didn't it? So obviously Frankfurt are saying, excuse me, Mr. Sullivan, you owe us 5 million. It's now the end of May. Pay up. And obviously West Ham were saying, well, it's not the end of the season technically because it's been moved. It's now the end of middle of July or whatever it is. So we have that payment problems with Frankfurt and the Sebastian Haller thing. And there was talk of them sort of taking us to court almost to get the money out of us. So I'm surprised Frankfurt are dealing with us, but happy days. Ben's liking three at the back and seeing the Rice and Souček partnership again. Darkin says it sounds bad, but he's glad to see Antonio not getting a guaranteed start. And Peter says commentary will leave if we get Onana or Mangala in. Jasper says ball boys better watch out. Moyes on the rampage. Robert, would you mind Taylor from Burnley? It's a cheap left back. Neither do I. Robert, I think he's underrated. I think he's nothing special, is he? He's very sort of jack of all trades, master of none. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. He's better defensively than Aaron Creswell, that's for sure. So, yeah. Lewis says, looking at our lineup and bench just shows how many players we needed to sign. Still need to sign. It's the same as last season's. John would have liked to have seen us sign Ben Mee on a free. Tolan says Moyes is half thinking playing 5 at the back, which is how we set up against City. That's true. I think we set up 5 the last home game of the season. I think it was 5 at the back. And I think Vanals was playing that hybrid role again, weren't he? Colin Wood says Kostic is easily an improvement on our left-hand side. And all Luton Town need is Grady Dingana to officially become sorry to see them go FC. They need Sonny Perkins in there as well. Paul says Diop not being there could point to a quick recovery with the injuries and Diop being sold. Yes, I was thinking that as well, Paul, because there's got to be a reason we've left Diop out. And the most logical reason is that he's on his way. But surely we've got news about Aguerd before we sanction that transfer. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Gavino says he thinks Dawson's had an operation on the injury he was carrying last season. But it's a random time to do it, though, isn't it? Because he played in the friendlies earlier on in the summer. He played against Servette. Why would you not have the surgery prior to that and be back for all the pre-season? So to have it now would be a strange thing, unless maybe he's come back after pre-season and the injuries flagged up again pretty quick. And I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And Yarmolenko says that Diop was in Miami before pre-season. Just reposted a picture. He wasn't there this week. Strange how he isn't even team. Thank you. I didn't know that. I genuinely thought he was in Miami at the start of this week, but I'm aware he was in London yesterday doing the media work. So thank you. Did not know that. Makes sense. That makes a bit more sense. JTD says, apparently we offered around 10 million for Kostic would be a great price, even with him turning 30. I think it's 15. The fee I believe, is around about 15 million. But I agree with you. I think it's a fair price for a player with that talent, despite his age. Happy days. Peter would like to see us play Johnson in one position instead of switching around all season. See, I think it's like Johnson's strength, but I think it's also a weakness for Johnson, isn't it? I think the fact that he's a capable right back, a capable left back, a capable right centre back, it's almost like he's going to be used as a backup here, a backup there, and a backup here, rather than actually having his own position. It feels like he's going to be second choice for 3 or 4 different positions, doesn't it? Which is probably going to hinder his development as a player, getting moved around. Like you said, he could probably do is play in one position and stay in that position to learn the role inside out. But swings and roundabouts, because David Moyes is probably delighted that Ben Johnson can play various different roles, because he's priceless. Players like that are priceless. You've got him on the bench. You've got 3 positions and that starting 11 covered with one player on your bench. I think that's very, very valuable. But like you said, it does sort of deter his progression as a player. Jay Walker says, if we get Kostic, I don't see why he couldn't play 4-3-3 with Kostic left wing and Johnson left back, Cresswell on the bench. Do you know something? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. I would expect if we were playing 4 at the back and Kostic survived, he would have that left wing role rather than the left back one. I would be nervous. I confess I'll be a bit nervous should Kostic come in and a left back doesn't. I'd get a lot more excited if these links to Luke Thomas are true, because I think Luke Thomas is a decent left back. I don't think he's anything special, but he is only 21, and I think the experience he's got for somebody of that age is really good. But left wing back, I think he's a bit poop, if I'm honest with you. I've seen Leicester play wing backs quite often. Luke Thomas is on the left, and he's not that good. I think he's very average at best, but he's still only 21. So I think getting Luke Thomas in with Kostic would be fantastic for the options down that hand side. But I'm not sure if Thomas dislodges Cresswell straight away, if I'm being honest with you. And this is a prediction regarding David Moyes more than anything. Michael Levy says he's very apprehensive about getting excited about Scamacca. He was excited about Sebastian Haller. Oh, mate, stop it. Just get excited. Allow yourself. It's important. As football fans, you allow yourself to get excited for new transfers. Don't judge them compared to previous ones. It is a difficult thing to do. I am aware of that, but it's not fair. It's a completely different player, I believe. So, happy days. Brad says, after last week, he's fed up all of a sudden with the club. I have a feeling Scamacca will fall through because Moyes is so strict with who he brings in and with centre-back issues as well. Well, hopefully, Brad, we'll get Scamacca. I feel quite confident with the Scamacca stuff. There's a lot of different sources reporting the same thing. A lot of Italian sources are leading the way on this, which is, I think, a positive as well. And that journalist, who I admit I've never seen or heard of until the Scamacca deal, but I like that Alfredo, whatever his name is, he's always been the one leaking or breaking the West Ham Scamacca links. But I quite like it when that happens, because it means he's sort of very in the know with very few deals, but what he knows about those deals is bang on. So he's never going to be as big as Fabrizio Romano, for example, or David Ornstein, but what he does know is good. RJ says that he's got a feeling Scamacca signs for us. He'll hit the ground running and score in his debut. Well, fingers crossed. I guess the question is, when's he going to make his debut? Will it be Man City? Will it be Forest? Will it be later on than that? Oz says the fact that they've got the same agent, Scamacca and Kostic, makes him think that this is a couple of signings pushed by the board. Hammerhead Hardy says Antonio does not need to play as a striker anymore. He can have 10 shots a match and be lucky to get 2 on target. Powerhouse, but not a striker. Oscar, thanks for the show. No worries, Oscar. Our pleasure. Keeps him updated from Australia. It would be good to see Mubama again and gradually get him into the team as a sub. That's one player that might see his game time a little bit restricted today, because previously we've been playing Antonio up front and Mubama is the only replacement for Antonio. Now that we've started, by looks of it, with Jared Bowen up front, Antonio on the bench, I'm not sure if Mubama will get to come on. The interesting thing is, if Mubama does come on, where's Antonio going to go? Maybe he'll move Antonio to the left-hand side and give Mubama the striker role. I hope that is what happens, I always think if you're going to play a youngster in a friendly, put the youngster in his best position. Let the senior players work around them, because it'd be a bit like if you had two young centre midfielders. Let's say Ekwa and Coventry were playing today. Put them centre mid, and Rice needs to come on. Put Rice centre back or something. Work the senior runs around in. Let the youngsters play in their best position. It increased their chances of impressing, I guess. We know what Antonio can do as a striker. We don't know what Mubama can do. Charlie, just join whenever you're ready, my friend. Neil says Boya's not going to come unless Chelsea by now want to sell Timo Werner. It's clear as day Boya not coming to West Ham is not happening. I don't disagree. It's gone a bit quiet, hasn't it? And I think this is part of the reason that we're smacking on with a Scamacca deal. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm trying to... My hair's all over the shop. I'm not bad. I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to see if this 5 at the back is any better than it was before. You know, I think it's nice to have a couple of different formations on the go. And as much as I want to see us just focusing on the one that we're definitely going to play, let's be real. I think in the big games, maybe a 5 at the back might suit us a little bit more than the 4 at the back was last season. So I'm interested to see how that ends up playing out. If this even is a 5 at the back, maybe it's a 4 at the back, and I don't know, flipping Cresswell's at left back or something. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm interested.
Anyway, before we tell you guys how to watch this game while you're watching, somehow there's 1,200 people watching, which is mad for the channel. So make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. Don't go anywhere yet. And also drop a like on the video. It does actually help the channel a lot more than you think. Just clicking that thumbs up. Taking half a second to click the thumbs up button helps the channel out a lot more than you think. It also makes us feel good. We're here for the duration of the game as well. Charlie will be doing the watch along. I'll be joining Charlie at halftime for a brief chat. Then I'll be back at full time with a little mini review of the game as well. But you can watch it on YouTube. West Ham's official YouTube page is completely free, obviously. So you can head over there and watch it. What I recommend you do, though, is get it on your smart telly. Get on YouTube on your smart TV or whatever. Put it on your device. Interact with Charlie in the watch along. Keep Charlie company. 2 birds, 1 stone. Who doesn't like multitasking? So if you're capable of multitasking, that's your afternoon. Match on the telly, Charlie on the device. That's how it's got to be. That's how it's got to be.
It's easy. It's light work, and we'll have fun together. We'll all watch an absolutely banging performance together, and then we can all go to full time and watch Geo doing.
Can I just bring up this question? This question here, right? Because me and you have never been big fans of Adama Traore, right? Gonzo's like,
sure, right, okay, yeah.
Oh, he's like, I love Adama, but Kev Power, would you like to see us go in for Adama Traore? The rumors are he's available for 10 million. Like, I must confess, I'm not his biggest fan, right? But at 10 million, even I'm thinking, you know something, that's a tempting price.
Someone who can play like wing back if pushed, he does little things. Because one of the things I really liked about Lingard the first time he was here was when we were sitting deep and we were in trouble, we could just pass him the ball and he will just dribble it up the other end of the pitch. Traore will do that. Listen, he might not have literally anything once he gets there, but he will do that for you. And for 10 million, that's not bad. That's not bad. Decent squad player. You know what I mean? Someone who can get involved, do different bits.
I mean, you can only play him when you're in my head. You can only play him when you're goal down. When you're like,
sure,
you're almost in just like bulldozer mode, essentially. Yeah. Like get Traore just getting to run down the pitch and just balls blindly into the box and hope you get on the end of something. But I'm certainly not against it. I think he'd be an option. And if we are going to play the wing back role thing often, he can play wing back. He does get back in defence. I think he can be a bit lazy at times. I think he just causes chaos to the opposition. And they always have to double team him. They always have to team up on him. Yeah. So even if the worst case scenario, you bring him on just to try and drag 2 of their players out of the game, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. We speak about how one of the positives about Antonio is his movement up front, creating space for Jared Bowen. And I would argue that's why Jared Bowen's been so successful last season, is Antonio's getting out of the way and giving him that space to play.
Yeah.
Traore would essentially do that for Antonio. So to have Antonio and Traore in the pitch at the same time, their defence would just be like, whoa, what do we do here? Who do we mark? There's 2 of them here. We're stuck.
Imagine them either sides of someone like Scamacca. Jesus Christ. Having a big lump in the middle and then 2 absolute madmen just running about.
I'll be honest. Ben Ben says, I've been seeing a different side to Charlie Barca. Surprisingly very good when trying to break a team down. Very good technical. I'll confess, never seen him play for Barcelona. I don't really watch La Liga. But he does get in the Spain squad occasionally. And you've got to have some technical ability and flair to get into that squad. I mean, De Gea doesn't get into that squad.
Yeah.
Because he's crap with the ball at his feet. They said, no. We'd rather have Raya. We'd rather go after the Brentford goalkeeper because he is better with the ball at his feet than De Gea is. That's why he's in the squad ahead of him. So, anyway, Charlie, I'm going to have to disappear and leave you because the game's going to kick off. But you guys watching, don't go anywhere. Charlie's here for 90 minutes. Please interact as much as you can in the live chat. Charlie needs you. And, yes, I will be back at halftime.
Thank you, Geo. Appreciate it. I'll see you then. Everyone get excited for that when someone talking smart comes back. But until then, bruv, you got me. Get excited. Let's go. It's West Ham versus Luton Town. The teams are currently walking out onto the pitch, so we've not kicked off yet. We haven't missed anything of the action. Don't worry. I will be talking you through everything as it happens. The game is live on the official West Ham YouTube channel. So if you're looking for the game, I would highly recommend you go and watch that. It's been a bit glitchy for me so far today. So we're all looking forward to that. We'll be looking forward to that. However, it's a game, Luton have got many ex-West Ham players in their ranks. We've got 2 of them in the squad today. You've got Dan Potts, who is on the bench. Used to play left-back for us in the Championship. And then, of course, starting for them, Reece Burke, centre-back, played under Allardyce. Good prospect, to be fair, and having a good career. Luton are a decent team, decent outfit, doing good things. And a bit like the next Brentford in a sense, not maybe smart as that, but they certainly have been doing some interesting things, and I respect it. But yeah, no, my stream is also lagging. Xavier, my stream is also very much lagging. Lots of lagging. Luke, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Right, just before the match does kick off, because it's here, I just want to address one thing, very, very quickly. Let me see if I didn't test this button, so I probably should have done that. If I press, let's do this one. Oh, that one worked. And that works as well. It's Peach. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this man, Peach is an absolute legend. He came in live chat. He was on the live chat right from the very start of these watch-alongs when myself and young Tom were doing it. And has supported the West Ham, every West Ham channel around, not just us. He supported all of them and had his own channel as well, West Ham Random. Unfortunately, if you're not aware, he had a massive accident last week and passed away. Or earlier this week and passed away. There is a GoFundMe, which has been done by Gatesy, set up by Gatesy of Force from Irons. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. If you have anything, do go and drop some money. It's all going to his family. We're trying to get him a stone outside West Ham in the Champions Place Square, and all the rest of the money goes to his thing. But I just wanted to shout out because he watched these watch-alongs. He was one of the biggest supporters of these watch-alongs, and it's incredibly sad to see him pass away. And I don't want to talk about it too much because we've done lots of shows about it and everything else. But he's an absolute legend, and I felt like it's necessary to shout out because he literally was practically the biggest supporter of these. So if you do have anything, make sure check out the GoFundMe, which is in the comments section. However, we do have a match. We do have 2 things to run today, and it is West Ham United versus Luton Town. The stream is horrendous. So we'll all be struggling together because my lord, is it just an absolute mess. But, we move. You know what I mean? We move. So, Daddy, good to see you, sir. I hope you're well. Richie Von Rock, West Ham streams will be going all Spurs these preseason. They've been very dodgy. And West Ham United, it's underway. Luton Town kickoff. The timer is going to be all out of whack because the stream is so laggy. So I've clicked it. That's it. Moving from kickoff. God knows what's happening. Apparently, Rufus Brevitt's on commentary, which is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, Graph, I'm not going to show the match. It is on the official West Ham YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, I would recommend you heading over there and checking it out. I tried refreshing to see if that helps. It is running better, but then all this timer is also all out of whack. So we will sort that out. Shout out Rufus Brevitt, by the way. What a guy. I do love Kenilworth Road as well as a stadium. Do you know what I mean? I do love Kenilworth Stadium. It's just. I do love an old school ground. 50. Let's go 55, and we'll just click go from there. There we go. We're actually in time now. We're actually being on time. Right. What are we saying? Let's have a look at this formation then, shall we? Let's try and figure out exactly what's going on. Because is it a 5 at the back? Is it a 4 at the back? The obvious answer is 5, right? You would much suspect it's 5. However, who knows? Who knows? I would recommend, by the way, anyone, if you're still struggling, maybe give it a little refresh. Although having said that, mine's just glitched after refreshing, so who knows? Who knows? This shouldn't be happening because it's been flipping YouTube, so it shouldn't happen. But then again, it's probably the internet connection at the actual stadium itself. It's going to be a long throw in the build up to all of this from Luton. They've lobbed it right into the box. A header completely missed, maybe an overhead kick. He's gone for it, and he's not gone off well for him. He's tried to just swing around and swing a leg at it, and unfortunately, has gone out for a goal kick to West Ham. I'll tell you what, he went for it. Defo 5 back, says Geo. It does look like it, doesn't it? It does look like we're seeing Cresswell at left centre back, Masuaku at left wing back, and then at right, well, Kurt Zuma in the centre, and then at right centre back, I believe it looks like Ben Johnson to me. Might be wrong about that, but we'll see. Just playing up top, just lobbing him up there, see what happens. Fornals playing right wing, so it's 5. Yeah, that's what I suspected would happen. Fornals on the right, Ben Rama on the left, and then Bowen sort of more central, and it looks that way. I think you're right, Logan. I believe you're correct. So yeah, I think you're right looking at it now. So in case you're wondering what is the exact formation, it is in goal Areola. From right to left, we have Sufal, Johnson at right centre-back, Zuma and Cresswell as the other centre-backs, with at left wing-back Arthur Masuaku. A double pivot in midfield of Declan Rice and Thomas Souček. And then at right wing, Pablo Fornals. Left wing, Said Benrahma. And up front, Jared Bowen. There we go. Elbow. I'm all right. Thank you very much. I'm good. Thank you, sir. You know, it's been a busy, eventful week in a lot of ways, but I'm good. I'm excited to see a bit of West Ham. Waiting for this timer to be more in check now. Now it seems to be running a little bit more smooth. And let's get a little bit more in time. Good to see Areola getting the start. It's been a bit weird, the sort of flip-flopping between him and Fabianski. Fabianski not in the squad today. Don't know why. Don't know if he's injured or what. But it's good to see at least Areola getting in the team. I think that's something I'll be looking for more and more frequently as the season goes on, to take over that sort of number 1 position. West Ham passing it around relatively calmly at the back. Until it gets to Ben Johnson under some pressure, who is forced into basically winning a throw-in, but a lot of pressure just straight on Ben Johnson there. Luton looking to sort of press our back 3. You would suspect with a 3 that maybe they'd be a bit more comfortable passing it around at the back, especially if Declan Rice, who looks like he's dropped into a sort of deeper role right now, would be able to get in and involved in that sort of passing range. But in that instance, maybe not so much. Mark, score is above us. Score is above us, sir. Don't ask me why, but the embedded vid on West Ham's website is working fine, but the original on YouTube is laggy af. Well, might switch across to that Mr. iBase if it carries on. I mean, it's looking all right now. Cross in from Luton, headed away. If it ends up carrying on, then I might switch that. That's good intel. Thank you, Taz man. Thank you very much, sir. My first ever donor to my favorite West Ham channel. Thank you very much, Taz man. That's greatly appreciated for the £2 into the full-time fund. That's much appreciated, sir. First donation of the season for the watch-alongs, at least. And we've had other ones and other things, but appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, sir. Lob you in the corner next to Danny. Just, the money above his head, how it goes. That is Reece Burke. That is officially the former West Ham Reece Burke as well. They've got a couple others. Dan Potts, Henry Lansbury is there. Robert Snodgrass is there. And they've had, I don't know if they're still there from recent times, but they've had quite a few over the last couple of years. What's his name? Elliot Lee was there for a while. I don't know where he is now. What's the guy's name? Centre back. Can't remember his name, but there was another guy there. They've had quite a few. I think because they're relatively near to London, it's a pretty easy move if someone wants to stick in that sort of area, And they've done well, to be fair, buying players like that. They've been doing decent overall after the last little while. Mike, good to see you. Common your minds indeed. Hope you're well. We haven't got the players to play at the back. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's if Aguerd was playing, then we'd maybe be a little bit more comfortable. Zuma's not too bad. He's fairly comfortable on the ball. He's not a greatest passer or anything, but he's pretty flipping comfortable. Actually, no, that's a lie. He's for a centre back. He's not a bad passer at all. Ben Johnson, he's getting pressed again there. Ben Johnson under a lot of pressure now. Zuma and Luton are all over us. Declan Rice has to come in and just lay it off to Areola and the pass out to Aaron Cresswell. Maybe a counter-attack is on the board here. Nope, forget that. Aaron Cresswell went, what are we doing? And then stopped. But, yeah, like, do you know what? I would agree in general. But we should be able to do it a little bit better with the 5. I would suspect, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I'm pretty stupid. Daniela, good to see you. Hope you're well. Got your YouTube on my listen, look, Daniela's doing exactly what Geo says. Oh, Thomas Suchek hitting a lovely crossfield pass. And West Ham get a throw in very deep area, essentially crossing territory. The stream seems to have calmed down a little bit now. I definitely will, Paul. I definitely will. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whatever, tell who's a baller for us. Yeah, he's gone on to have a pretty decent career. We obviously got him on loan from Arsenal when he was a youth guy over there. We got him on loan from Arsenal, and he had a lot of potential, and sort of has gone on to have a pretty decent career in the Championship level. Played for Nottingham Forest. He's obviously at Luton now. He's been around. He's been doing the rounds. He's a decent player, to be fair. Whipped in from West Ham. Not quite getting anywhere. Got to be another throw. Jarrod Bowen to take it. That is one of the problems with not having Mikel Antonio on the bench. It's just one less presence in the box from those corners. Although, to be fair, he's not scored a header in about 8 years, so that's probably not great. Oh, quickly taken throw and Bowen around the back. Can't quite get the control, and Luton deal with it well. I'm interested to see Adebayo for Luton as well. Ooh, has he? Again, good intel. Good intel. Is the best worst stadium in world football. I do love a best worst stadium. I do love a good bad stadium, Mr. Ibase. It's just a love of mine. And they do. Kenilworth Road is very much something where the stands have sort of just been shoved together, and I respect it immensely. And I kind of love it. I do kind of love it. Eric, good to see you. I'm interested to see Adebayo, who is the striker for Luton Town today. I don't know if he's a striker or if he's a winger. I'm not really too sure. I don't really see a lot about him. I don't really see him play a lot. The only reason I know is because I hear a lot about him. As Gio said in the build-up, I know a lot of people who've mentioned him quite a bit. Gatesy, who's in the Hamish Chat Addicts group chat from the Patreon, even he was mentioning him just before the game started. And so I'm interested to see sort of what he's all about, because I don't really know much about him. He's just a name that sort of perennially gets brought up. Throwing, looking for Saïd Benrahma, snuffed out by a couple of different Luton players. Reece Burke cutting left and right before laying it back to the goalkeeper. Good pressure from Jarrod Bowen. Forces him into a very awkward goal kick. And that's going to be a throw into West Ham on about the halfway line. Love that from us. We should have a stand called the Peach End Stand, Rip Dog Forever Hammer. Yeah. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we can sort out this Champions Place stone for him. Is that what's called Champions Place? I've never known, but hopefully we can sort out that stone. I know a lot of us from the West Ham Random channel. Oh, it's a great ball around the back for Luton, and I tell you what, Ben Johnson's dealt with that very well. There was a ball just around the back there, just hitting a cheeky bender. It's how I've decided to word that. Just whipped in. Swaz. Just go to the usual, Charlie. Swazzed it in. It was good start. But yeah, hopefully we can get that Champions League place, because a lot of the West Ham random people, when we've been on streams and stuff, we've been talking about going and getting a picture by it and stuff. And yeah. Something to remember, a guy who loved West Ham and was more positive than literally anyone I've ever met. This cameraman is making me dizzy. Bro, it's a bit of an issue. I can only imagine they didn't know whether or not they'd be able to do the stream today, and that's why they didn't announce it till this morning. That's my bet, because this setup is, and I'm not going to lie, a bit shaky, both electronically and physically. I don't know if anyone knows here, but my hands shake constantly. Don't know why, I've never known. My granddad had it, my mum has it, I have it. It's just something that we have in our family. And it looks like I'm holding the camera. It's an issue. It's an issue. They look to be on scaffolding on the roof of one of the stands, I believe. I think that's how they're set up. I'm looking down the line now. There's going to be a throw-in right by our corner flag for West Ham. And we've got a sort of a shot directly down the line. And I think they're on just... I think they're on the roof of one of the stands. They've just sort of got scaffolding set up, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but let's look at one. Very much, Peter. It's an issue. It's an issue. It's going to be a corner to Luton. Poor defending by West Ham. Very, very poor defending from West Ham. I'm not going to lie about it. It was a bit... That was all over the shop. Luton surely can't keep up his press for 90 minutes. It's mad. Yeah, I can't imagine they would either. But they're doing very, very well, to be fair. I can't imagine they would either, though. That would be... I mean, they are going full force. Full force. So a Luton corner, right by the West Ham fans, from our left-hand side. It's going to be whipped in by, I think, Doherty. Straight at the bonce of Declan Rice, who heads it out once more for a Luton throw-in, just ever so slightly further down the line. Quickly taken into their number 18, who tries to put it in. The cross was poor, though. Straight along the floor. West Ham, all hands on deck at the back. All hands on deck at the back right now. Everyone's sort of sitting back. We tried to counterattack slightly, but there literally was no one even close to the, let alone the halfway line. Some awkward play. You're not looking very comfortable right now. Luton are doing really well today. Their pressing's really good. Just making it awkward and difficult for us. And that's a really nice turn from Adebayo. Lays it short. Put across the box from Luton, and Aaron Cresswell gets in there and stops that. Tell you what, just tell him stop that one. He stopped it. It's good. It was good play from Luton. Adebayo hits a nice turn around Ben Johnson, completely sends him for dinner, then lays it off nicely to one of his compatriots. Tries to whip the ball in, essentially first time, but Aaron Cresswell there just sliding in to stop the incoming cross straight into the path of the Luton oncoming player. They're going to take a corner on our right-hand side this time, whipping it in again. West Ham have practically every single human being you've ever met inside the box. Whipped in, easily claimed from Areola. Going to look to try and play this one quickly. Luton Town stopping it pretty effectively. Man just ducked down and got his head in the way like that. It was a bit mad. Again, yeah, we're just not... Just attack. The counter's not as rapid as you want it to be today. Counter's not as rapid. I have heard. I was going to go live and do a video about it yesterday, Sharky, when it happened. But I was live on West Ham Random at the time talking about Peach. So I have seen and heard, and I think it's maybe the most insane thing to have happened in a long time. It's mad. I don't know at all what that's going to mean for the company going forward. I was having a conversation with my mate about it earlier, like what the heck's WWE going to look like in a year? Whipped in from West Ham, header, can't quite get onto it. No real purchase on the header from Jared Bowen. Soucek was behind him, but it wasn't going near enough to him. It was a first time, or I thought it was first time for Pablo Fornes. It wasn't. It was one touch and then put into a decent enough area, but maybe a bit too square on Jared Bowen, who can't really get a proper header on it. And it's easily collected by Luton Town goalkeeper. But yeah, I was saying to someone yesterday, this morning, what is it even going to look like in a year's time? Obviously, the rumours are abound about it. They've been looking to sell for a little while now, but before then, I mean, it's going to take a while to do that. Before then, what the heck's it going to look like? Who's in charge of creative? I mean, there's so many questions. I was going to do a video about it last night because I was just like, what? But unfortunately, I was talking about Peach Tap. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And neither do I. It's the first time practically any of us would have seen it without it. It's just mad. First time. Listen, but he did it, Richie, and that's the important bit. He did it. Declan Rice striding forward here. Listen, he stopped it. Laid back to Aaron Cresswell, Masuaku. He had that really good spell when we were playing three at the back originally under David Moyes as a wing back. He looked all of a sudden, it looked like it was sort of coming to fruition for him. Be interested to see how, because I've been pretty positive on him pre-season so far. Oh, that's nice play down the right hand side between Kufal and Fornals. Back out to Kufal, going to try and whip that ball in. He does. And no one really in particular. It was a difficult situation to put the cross in, to be fair. He had to do it first time and he was under a bit of pressure. So to get the ball in at all was impressive, but it's a nice play between him and Fornals there. But the cross eventually just not really being accurate enough, and Reece Burke heads it out for a West Ham corner on the left-hand side. But yeah, decent play. Like I said, I've been fairly up on Masuaku this pre-season. I can't lie. I thought he's been all right. And so I'd be interested to see if we do end up going for this 5 at the back system, how that would affect him. Would he be would we find the best of Masuaku again? I mean, he's been playing on the wing for most of the rest of the preseason, so that's the stuff I've been interested in. But whipped in, headed away from Kurt Zuma, and now Luton trying to counterattack, but easily stopped from Soufal. It's going to end up being a throw-in. It does look like they're on the roof. So I'm getting another down the line angle. It does look like they're on the roof. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, mate, I think the kit is orange, but it's just a sort of very reddy orange. It could also be the stream because the colors on the stream don't look perfect. But yeah, I think it is a sort of a very reddy orange. I was looking at pictures for the thumbnails earlier, and I did notice there was the hue fell off. Not claret and hue. The hue of the colour, you know what I mean? Big boot forward. Adebayo does well to just stop that one. Been interested so far? Been interested in it? Well. Good cross from Luton, and it's cleared away from Aaron Cresswell. Really well done down that left-hand side. I don't know who it is for Luton on that left-hand side, but he's causing us problems. Really nice, just control. The ball came to him at such an awkward position. Soufal was in a nice enough position to sort of defend him, but it was a really nice control just to keep it in and keep it down, and then puts in a nice cross, and Aaron Cresswell manages to stop it, but close. Will he release an autobiography? Will he get released from prison first? I mean, look, there's lots of things going on there. I've seen the Disney thing as well. Cyber, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Sir. Whipped in, but straight over from whoever it is on that left-hand side. I'd be interested to see who it is on that left-hand side because he's causing us problems. It's number 24. I do have their team somewhere. I do have their team. 24. Alfie Doherty. So it is. He's doing all right. He's doing decent. He's causing us some issues. He's getting some nice play, getting some nice 1-2s going. Respect it. I'm interested to see how he goes on. Zuma trying to find his way forward, gets the ball into the path for Thomas Souček. 5 at the back should suit him more as well, you would suspect. When you look at it and you say, well, that was the time where we had the best out of Thomas Souček was when we were playing the 5 and him and Rice in that role. It really allowed him to get more forward. That was a different Declan Rice, though. So I'd be interested to see with the sort of the new and improved Rice, if you want to put it that way, a guy who really likes getting forward and sort of acting like a box-to-box. Would that discourage him from getting forward? Or some nice passing though between Rice, Ben Rama, and Masuaku. He kept it in, to be fair, but it was a save by the goalkeeper from Masuaku in the end anyway. He sort of took it to the line and crossed it in, and the goalkeeper collected it. It looked like it was out of play, but apparently not. Big boot forward from the Luton goalkeeper trying to throw it forward. Again, yeah, I'd be so there's some question marks over the 5 and whether it'd be interested. And then of course with the likes of Squamaka being linked and more importantly Kostic, I guess, for a 3 at the back type system, they would walk straight into it. I agree with what Geo was saying in the build up about the idea of I don't think this is a formation that is because of those links. I don't think it's because we're close to signing Kostic or something like that. Nice play there. And we got free kick in a very dangerous area. Some nice passing around. From Luton Town. They're sort of a bit annoyed at Pablo Fornals for going down at that one, apparently. But yeah, it's been good passing around. Nice first touch stuff. Rice into Ben Rama. Cresswell's there. He puts it into a really nice position of Fornals, who tried to flick it around the back for Cresswell. Reece Burke was the one who ends up cutting it out. But their number 32 just ends Fornals. So we've got a free kick in a decent position. I would be surprised if Ben Rama doesn't take this. It's about 20 yards away from goal, slightly to the left. It's a good position for either of them, to be honest, to take it. I would just be surprised on a technique level if it wasn't Ben Rama. Listen, Cresswell has been great. just crashed for a second. Cresswell has been great in the past when it comes to set pieces and free kicks and stuff, but I don't think he's really done it for a while. And so Ben Rama, who's already scored one in pre-season, it wouldn't be shocked if he was the one who hit it. In fact, I'd hoped he'd be the one to take it, but both of them are standing over it. Referee blows the whistle. Ben Rama hits it straight into the face of the ball. Difficult to get it up and down, to be fair, but it does go straight into the ball. Deckers, my G, how are you, sir? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Luton playing nicely out from the back, it's got to be said, and then getting it forward, chested down from the Luton player, and now they're in a really good position to attack here. West Ham a little bit of 6s and 7s, but thankfully the Luton player takes the wrong decision to try and boot it in the net from about 30 yards away, which was never happening, more like 25 to be fair. It was never ever going to happen. It was just never ever going to happen from that sort of angle, but it was a nice counter-attack from Luton. Again, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Should have laid it off. I mean, there wasn't really many options for him, but should have laid it off. It is going to be a corner, though, because the shot does deflect. Noble Solicitors, one of Luton Town's sponsors, behind the goal. All very exciting. All very exciting. Am I wearing my pajamas? I've just realised. Yeah, I am. It's too warm today. I'm not fast. Not fast. Here comes the corner from the left-hand side of Luton. Whipped in. Comes back towards Areola, who collects it. Just the initial header was one of those big looping ones, and Areola collects it and then plays it out. It was a nice idea to try and play it quickly. Just a nice low punt trajectory kick for those of you who've played PES, looking towards Syed Ben Rama. Can't quite make it. It's a nice idea. And Luton, who have advantage played in their favour, are now passing the ball around just inside the half, trying to create some space. They've been good so far, Luton, to be fair. They've been good. We've not been that bad, but they've been good. Can we all agree this 3 at the back? It's a very Luke Legend stance, that one. What's it nonsense about? Listen, I don't prefer it to 4. I prefer 4, but, 3 at the back. If anything, that's the traditional formation. Do you know what I mean? The WM and all that nonsense. It was a 2 at the back, even. I wouldn't say we look poor, Ben. I wouldn't say we look particularly good. I think we look very, very, very average West Ham is how I would describe us. Not really finding anything of note of yet. I wouldn't call it banned. It's a good opportunity again for Luton. Try to play in. Declan Rice just collects it well, holds off the defender, and the attacker, and gets it out of his feet into Fornals. West Ham get advantage. Fornals maybe playing himself a little bit into trouble here. Fornals seems to have taken a little bit of a more central role with Jared Bowen on the right-hand side a bit more. I think that's just a out of possession thing, and he's gone for a nice run, and he's been fouled almost good defending from Reece Burke again, who's having a good game, to be fair. Jared Bowen started to run, it felt like very early, and with the confidence knowing that he will be found, and eventually was with a nice through ball, but Reece Burke just cuts it out. West Ham take the throw in quickly. Maybe the most competent throw-in I've ever seen from West Ham there, and it came to nothing. But my God, we kept possession of the ball and stayed sort of relatively in the position we were, which for us is a miracle. We do end up with one offside. There was nothing impressive, by the way. Kufau just was standing offside. But yeah, that was, for us, that was an incredible, unbelievable throw-in. Good work, lads. Let's go. This game does not feel like it's only been 24 minutes. It's not the best game of football you've ever seen for start of us from a West Ham perspective. No. Did you see the Twitch stream where Dan and Jace had a ruck? No, but I can imagine it. I've known both of them and been in both of their presences. I can imagine what happened. Was it banned? Yeah, you don't have to say it actually publicly, Staraki. You don't have to say it publicly. I feel like I'm looking for gossip live on stream, right? I don't know but no, I didn't see it. I wish I did to some extent. To some extent, but I can imagine it being around us too. Yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team, Deckers. They've been, having said that, as an awful piece of defending from them, just passing it back to the goalkeeper. It was about as routine as you're ever going to see. And the pass back to the goalkeeper completely missed, who then just gets forced to boot it clear just to stop the oncoming Jared Bowen, and West Ham win a throw-in. We've completely wasted the opportunity we had from it, but bloody hell. But outside of that, they are a good team. They've been doing good work. They've been putting together a nice team under very difficult financial circumstances. We jokingly call Kenilworth Road the best worst ground in the country. But like you can look at it and you can see this is not a club that is flowing with the cash. They are not Newcastle, right? They're a team who have very tight budgets and are run brilliantly financially. And the fact that they just continuously get better on the pitch and make really smart substitutions, really smart transfers is showing it. Rice looking for a big diag. It's a nice attempt and it lands perfectly in the feet of Vladimir Sofal. Back to Fornals, plays it in. Souček there, can't quite find him. Declan Rice on the edge of the area, lays it off to the left-hand side. Cresswell, Masuaku looking for the underlap. Cresswell whips it into a good area. The header! It's in! And it's Thomas Souček with the goal. We said it. We said maybe this would allow him to get in and around the area more. And that is exactly what happened there. Declan Rice just on the edge of the area, sitting, sort of allowing the space for the players to get around. He hits the nice diagonal originally over to one side. It doesn't quite work out. He comes back to Declan Rice. He then lays it off to the left-hand side for the second attempt. And Aaron Cresswell puts in an early cross. He had Masuaku right next to him on the underlap. It made it seem like maybe the obvious answer. But instead, Aaron Cresswell just looks up, picks out his man, early cross, left-hand side, whips it in, and Thomas Souček in the area, making an absolute nonsense of himself. And I have to be real, probably the one time that Reece Burke has not been in and around the area to try and stop him. It's a goal. It's 1-0 West Ham. It's Thomas Souček with the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Right as you said that, Luke. I saw it, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. 1-0. What a time to be alive. West Ham are up, ladies and gentlemen. It was a decent goal, a competent goal. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. 27 minutes in and 1-0. Like I say, it's not been the worst performance from us in a while. It's just been a very sort of nothing-key performance, you know. The attack just hasn't been good enough. But that's the sort of thing that we saw so many times when we were playing this three at the back before. We saw this literally time and time again. Some awful passing at the back and almost goes out for a corner, but Ben Johnson stops that. Just some very, very predictable stuff, you know. Aaron Cresswell from that left centre-back position would get forward into those areas very, very frequently and be putting into those early crosses. That was the last good season Aaron Cresswell had, in my opinion, from start to finish. I put him as my, I think I said he was second or third. No, he's third for Hammer of the Year that season for me when Souček, Rice, him. And yeah, he was getting into those positions and putting those balls in, and Thomas Souček was getting goals for that exact reason. He just hangs up at the back, does well, and bosh, in. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Bree with the ball in for Luton. It's one of the ones I do know. Their right back, sorry, Bree, because I remember it from the formation, so I can say it. Look, he's on the ball again. There, it's Bree. Luton though have been decent. You can't say they haven't. Pressure's been really good. They've created some decent sort of half opportunities, and they've been looking all right. Why? Why? I mean, look, I'm here for it. He's massive, loves the Haribo. McCarthy is massive, loves the Haribo. Loves the Haribo. I don't know why, though, but I'm here for it. I can't act like I'm not. Souček a striker? Why not? Lob him up there. You know, get him in and around the box. Being a annoying guy. You know what I mean? So pat. You know. Look, I'm just saying, in certain situations, it might actually genuinely make sense. In certain games, in certain situations where if we don't have strikers, especially if we don't sign one, just put him up there and just boot the ball at him like Andy Carroll. Just why not try it? You know what I mean? Part of me would rather that than Jared Bowen up front, you know? It's not to diss Jared Bowen. I think Jared Bowen does a competent, as good a job as he possibly can, but he's just not a striker. And I'd much rather him in his natural position. That's a great ball over the top for Bree, who's, to be fair, it would have been an unbelievable piece of technique to get the ball down Nice pass from Cresswell as well. Would have been a piece of unbelievable technique to get the ball down from that sort of height, that sort of power, and manage to control it perfectly. And West Ham managed to scarper the attack, but it was a beautiful ball over the top. I tell you what, Aaron Cresswell's got that Christian Fuchs about him today. Do you know what I mean? He's got that Christian Fuchs quarterback thing going today. He's just picking up the ball in deep areas and he's just looking for big long punts over the top. And I respect it. It's kind of like he's very good at that. That's a really nice piece of dribble. I don't know, by dribble, a nice piece of dribble? Sure, that's something I said. A really nice piece of skill, dribbling from whoever that was from Luton, just taking it past one. But yeah, I like this from Aaron Cresswell, just sitting in that quarterback position, just sort of playing it around like a pearl. Oh, nice touch from Ben Rama. That's as professional a foul as you're ever going to get from Luton there. If this wasn't a preseason friendly, that would be a yellow all day, all night. But Said Ben Rama with a really nice touch. Ball gets played into him from Ben Johnson. Just big direct pass along the thing. And then just one touch completely takes it around their number 5, who the second he's taking it is just staring at Ben Rama, trying to grab him like, come here. Gets him, stops him moving forward. I got so confused with that, Mark. When you said I saw Iron Maiden at MCR Apollo in '83, I thought you meant My Chemical Romance Apollo. I was like, they've got their own arena now? I'm an idiot. Shout out Iron Maiden. They're good. You know? They're good. They're just a solid band. You know what I mean? Would you take Brozier on loan if we sign Scamacca? Sure. Sure. It depends on the deal. I wouldn't say no, but I don't know. It feels too much almost. It feels like the second striker that we sign, if we were to sign 2, would have to be a different prospect. I don't know. Max Walker tried to put a ball in. It wasn't a bad ball at all, to be fair. There was no one in the position he put it in for, but he did. He put in a stinging cross, and now Luton with the counter attack, big ball over the top. He's looking for maybe Doherty, and Areola comes and headers it away. Thomas Souček nicely lays it off there, flipping heck. Bit dangerous play from Alphonse Areola there, and I respect it. I'm always concerned when I say his name, we're going to get demonetized, but that's where we're at. Areola, you know what I mean? No, I'm going to get the Cody one. I'm going to get the American Nightmare. I'm sure my girlfriend will love it. Brandy Rhodes, gritted teeth. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah, get him up, Luke. Come on. Who needs a striker? Get him up. Boot the ball at him. Ping it in on his dome. Let's go. Pow, pow, pow. You know? That's a really nice ball over the top for Vladimir Coufal. He's in a really nice position to put in a good cross. I tell you what, I don't know. I think it's number 30. I want to say he's 32, I think might be the Luton centre-back. That's alongside Reece Burke. But he's a big guy. And he just stood up to Vladimir Coufal there, who tries to get it over him. It just, no, not even close. Not even close. But a nice place to play. We're growing into this game. We're growing into this game a little bit here. I'm enjoying it. You're 100% correct, Glabase. You're 100% correct. I'll tattoo my entire face. Just make it a baby bell. You know what I mean? To be fair, it's pretty red and flipping spotty at all times anyway because of my awful skin. So I'm close enough to a Satsuma. All I need is a bit of orange colouring and I'll be great. Would look a bit like David Dickinson, but it is what it is. Much to the chagrin of Luke, I think he's playing all right. Today. Johnson, I'm interested to see him as a right-sided centre-back a bit more. I remember talking to Ray on the Two Spanish podcast about it. About him, basically the idea of him potentially playing at right centre back before. He was saying something maybe he would like to see, because he has that defensive quality to him, right? It's the thing we would say about Ben Johnson is it's just his attacking player that lets him down. His defensive qualities aren't too bad. Obviously it's a completely different position from right back, so it might not work. But if we were to change to a back three, it does make you a little bit more confidence that maybe he could be someone who stepped in if we had the amount of injuries we have like we do right now. Diop's not injured, but God knows where he is. But with Ogbonna unavailable and Aguerd unavailable, obviously it's and Dawson, it makes it sort of a little bit more. Maybe he's not having a great game. I would say. I would hesitate to say. Luton playing very dangerously around at the back right there, just passing it about, and West Ham getting a bit of pressure on. But it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's one of the other things I like about preseason, just being able to hear him, just being able to hear him. Obviously, I can't listen now. Now I do this. I can't hear him. I remember when we had Joe Hart and him just swearing his head off. I think it was preseason against Manchester City when we had Joe Hart. I feel like that's true. My stomach is going mad. I apologize. But yeah, that one, I remember him just, I think, swearing. And I always kind of like that stuff. That was one of the things I like. Listen, when lockdown football was happening, controversial, I watched it all without sound, or without the fake crowd, because I much prefer just hearing it, because I quite like preseason. I remember saying that at the time on one of these streams. Jared Bowen picks up in a good position. Out to Masuaku. Cresswell's there, maybe looking to try and get a cross in. He's had an underlap from Saiben Rama. Instead, Masuaku does put in a cross. It wasn't awful, wasn't much pace on it, but it wasn't a bad cross in the end. Jared Bowen just hanging about at the back post. Like I say, not the greatest cross I've ever seen from Masuaku, but at least positionally it was Kufau. It was Kufau. It was Kufau, sorry, not Jared Bowen. But hey, from a competency standpoint, it was accurate from off Masuaku. I know it's a really good opportunity for Luton, and Adebayo couldn't quite get the touch on it. I feel like I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm all awkward today, and I don't know why. I just feel awkward today. Maybe it's a foul as opposed to a through ball, as opposed to offside. Who knows? Do you think Fabianski will be number one this season? Surely it has to be Areola. I think it will start with Fabianski, and I think it will slowly become Areola is the way I would bet it to be. Yeah, I don't think it will remain Fabianski, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what David Moyes is like? He's a conservative guy, When it comes to selections, he'll pick his favourites before he picks the new people. He'll wait until the new people prove themselves like 18,000 times. And honestly, that's kind of what I expect with this situation. I expect it to be Fabianski at first, and then Areola to come in sort of soon after. Here he comes. It's going to be a cross in from that free kick. Oh, it was a foul against us, apparently. I've just realised. I didn't really think about that until that exact second. Not really sure how, but whatever. Cross has come in. It hasn't really done anything. A second cross again. Oh, an opportunity for Luton. Number 8 on the outside of the box. Under pressure. Leaning back. Hits it. Deflects off for a corner to Luton on the right-hand side. It's sort of a nothing key situation there from Luton, and it's ended up in a corner. The initial free kick was... Aaron Cresswell gets ahead, it deflects off another player and ends up on the sort of left wing. Luton's number 18 looks up, dinks it back across the goal. Headed down from Burke was a bit all over the shop. Once down to number 8, who just sort of hits it while leaning back, always rising. I'm not even convinced it touched anyone, but it's going to be another corner for Luton Town. They look to maybe take it quickly and short. They end up playing it just outside the box. It's dinked in. It's a nice set piece routine there, but it's headed away. Luton Town on the ball, trying to figure out a way forward. Again, pinged big crossfield diag just over the head of the Luton Town player, Aaron Cresswell, just sort of hanging around him. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a free kick. Not a free kick, sorry. I think it's going to be a throw-in to West Ham. Aaron Cresswell just getting a poke in the eye for good measure there. What did I miss? Danny, you seem to be... Let's ask him. Danny. Majid, what are you saying? Let's just rub his head for good luck while we're here. He says we've been okay-ish. I know you're going to say, Richard, that sounds a lot like something you would say, Charlie. Nope. Danny. It's Danny. Digged forward, Adebayo's there, but can't quite get there. Ben Johnson with a header and Declan Rice with a much more competent one gets it away. And now Pablo Fornals with a nice piece of control, looking to play Kufal, raging forward, finds him, has to turn around and pass it back, just depressingly, but still. Fornals plays a nice crossfield pass, looking for Masuaku. Nice control, pass, not so much, but we keep it in play. Aaron Cresswell's there for support for Masuaku once more. Plays it short to Rice, whose pass was interesting, but we still have possession of the ball. Short, back to Rice, Cresswell, Masuaku, Saib and Rama all passing it around in this sort of little quadrant by the left-hand touchline. Souček ends up spreading the play across to the right-hand side. West Ham forced back slowly there, a bit disappointingly, because it felt like we had the numbers to maybe take on Luton in that position, but we really do whenever there's any sort of adversity like that. Even when we do have the numbers, we do just tend to go back again. It happens again. Aaron Cresswell playing it forward now to side Ben Rama, Cresswell, Masuaku's just standing there watching. And West Ham back again, once again over the halfway line. Just frustrating because we keep getting into fairly okay positions and then just a tiny bit of pressing and all of a sudden we go flying backwards again, which is very annoying. Ball over the top though is not bad for Pablo Fornals. I think it was a cross there. He just sort of slices it across the box, low trajectory, sort of spinning. And I think it was meant to be a sort of cross. I can't tell. I mean, it can't have been a shot from there. There's no way. Goalkeeper was in a perfect position, so it must have been a cross. But neither Bowen nor Ben Rama were, to be honest with you, in the box. So I'm not really sure what happened. Again, that's another opportunity where we just should have people in and around the box, and we just don't. It's a very West Ham thing to do. I always end up with no fingernails left. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm very, very strong. Very strong. The quadrant of nothingness. Yes. The black hole near the corner. The quadrant of nothingness. You know? Where you have only a quantum of a chance of doing literally anything. And West Ham's hit ratio is low. The quadrant of nothingness. I'm backing that as a vibe. I can back that as a vibe. I think he's having an all right game. That cross was a weird one, but I think apart from that, he's pulling the strings relatively well. For someone who can't dribble. Yeah, for example, here, Peter could have taken on play on Tony. He could have, but it's just not his game. He's always going to try and find a pass and something else because he's more someone like that. He's not the best dribbler in the world. So I think he's doing all right, but yeah. It's weird because he was looking up, and he's probably the person I think has one of the best passing in a good team. So he has a good vision. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I can see the formation suiting Vlasic. Yeah, you're not wrong. Actually, it would. I mean, Moyes would probably end up playing him as bloody wing back or some nonsense. But if he was playing as either in the sort of Fornals or Ben Rama role in this team, you're not wrong. It'd be interesting. Just sort of getting in and around the box, sort of vibing his way. I wouldn't be against that. Is he on the bench? He is, isn't he? Yeah, he's on the bench. He's on the bench as well as Baptiste because, of course, we have a youth centre back. God knows we won't play him, but I would be interested. I wonder how many changes we'll see as well. Because it's not the most enticing game of football I've ever seen, but you'd imagine we'd want to play as many of the first team players we're going to play against Manchester City, start to give them more and more time in this friendly and the next one before the City game in 2 weeks. Rice spreading the ball across. Can't quite find it. So I'd be interested to see who comes off and who doesn't. I mean, there's a couple of people in this game you'd expect not to start. Masuaku, for example, probably wouldn't start against City. Ben Rama's probably optional. I mean, maybe those people get taken off. Probably, I mean. And there is the halftime whistle. A relatively dull first half at Kenilworth Road. We can't act like it's been the most exciting thing you've ever seen in your life. But ultimately, it does end in West Ham coming out of the half, going in at half time. 1-0 to the good with a good goal from Thomas Souček. it is what it is. Like I say, not the most exciting half you've ever seen in your life. I can see a Stewart just sprinting, trying to get into positions to stop people there. But good luck with that. But yeah, we'll take it. A very sort of average performance. Let me know how you lot feel about West Ham's performance and just the match in general. But yeah, you feel like it was a sort of okay performance-ish from West Ham. Nothing awfully exciting. Just a very flat. I wouldn't say bad though. Luton started the half pretty lively, pressing really nicely, getting into good positions, making a massive nuisance of themselves. But as the half went on and West Ham sort of grew into it a little bit, Luton died down a bit. So yeah, I don't know. An interesting half for those who really like football, who really like it. But any of us who are like, yeah, we like football. I don't know. It's very much West Ham versus Luton Town in a preseason friendly. Still. You'd love to see a 1-0. You'd love to see it being 1-0. You'd love to see it being 1-0. Anyway, Gio will be here very soon to join me. We can get his conversation, but let's have a look at what you're saying. I do again, Luke. You're talking my language. Why is it there? I love Kenilworth Road, man. Look at that as a stadium. That is a football stadium. Anyone who says that ain't a football, that is a football stadium. Judas, my trustworthy friend. I hope you're well. I hope you're good, sir. Hope you're having a grand old time. Relatively rubbish game. What are betting odds on Moyes being sacked this season? I'm going to go with a solid 0. Unless some absolute madness happens. But Gio, what about the game? What are we saying?
It's all right, isn't it? I think I feel like we're taking it a bit more serious than we have taken any other friendly so far this summer. I think I'm feeling a little bit more energy from the players. I think it's just the mood, if you like. Just small things suggest that we're not taking it serious as a competitive game or anything like that. I just think we're starting to crank it up a little bit, which makes sense, given we're getting closer to the season starting and also what happened on Tuesday. But the best example I can give is when we conceded a free kick just towards the end of the half there, which was Masuaku holding on to the player's shirt, and then he played it to Adebayo. The pass was in great round for goal kick, got pulled back. Both Rice and Bowen went over and said to the referee, hey, come on, what are you giving a free kick for this for? You didn't give one for us down there when similar happened and stuff. You don't really see that in pre-season, that little mumbling and grumblings from players and stuff. So, I think it's solid enough. It's a friendly. I'm not getting too excited, but there's only one player really I'm a little bit about. The rest of them are playing fine.
Oh, you dropped a little nugget of intrigue down. I want to dig it. I want to get the little sieve out like a little prospector and find out who it is.
It's only a friendly and all that yada yada. However, I think Zuma's struggling with Luton's press. Whenever Luton go up to Kurt Zuma, I feel like he has got caught out on a couple of occasions. It's not just once; it's 2 or 3 times he's struggled with Luton getting in his face. Rice has had to bail him out a couple of times. Ariel has had to bail him out and stuff. Yeah, I don't think Zuma's played very well, but in particular, when he has been hassled, I think he's taken about 3 touches too many, not just one. He's taken 2 or 3. He looks really nervous with the ball at his feet this afternoon for some reason.
We definitely the first sort of 20 minutes where Luton were really gunning for it and really pressing for it. There was definitely a panic button that was being pressed pretty regularly with us. We didn't seem massively comfortable with it. Him and Ben Johnson would have been the 2 that I would pick out as the ones who weren't super comfortable with the sort of pressing that we were experiencing. But like you say, I think as the half went on, I think we got more competent. I think it was. I would call it. If this was Premier League, I'd call our performance relatively flat. But we're sort of getting the things done. And as the half went on and we sort of grew into it a bit more and we sort of were more in control of the game, Luton weren't pressing as much. We started to see those aspects of the 3 at the back that we saw when Moyes first came back, and the goal. We won't talk about it too much because I'll head off in a second. But that was about as 3 at the back West Ham performance you've ever seen. That at Cresswell getting forward into that more advanced position, hitting in an early cross, Thomas Souček in the box. I mean, that is why that worked so well almost at the beginning, because it was just that, Rice sitting at the base, being the controller, getting that passing range going. The initial big diag to the right was really nice. He then receives the ball and plays it calmly to the left. Suma's in flipping, Souček's in the box. Like you said, I'm interested to see how it develops forward, and who comes on at halftime and how that changes the formation. As someone said, Declan Rice did take his shirt off as he was walking down the tunnel, so maybe he's coming off. I don't know. I would suspect the players who are going to start against City would play more minutes, you would guess. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll leave you with the capable hands of chat. I'll see you in a second. Bye.
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie will return soon, don't you worry. He's off for a pee. He's away for a piddle. Anyway, I think one thing I'm trying to keep an eye on in the first half, get involved in the live chat. Let me know what you think about this, okay? I am trying to keep an eye on the Declan Rice and Thomas Souček dynamic in midfield, because I can't remember who we played. I think it might have been the Rangers game, actually. And somebody in the live chat said, I feel like Declan Rice is looking a bit more like a defensive midfielder than what we saw last season. I thought, oh, interesting. Hadn't really picked up on that, so I'm going to keep an eye out for it. I can't remember who said it. It's apologies, but it was a really good shout. And but when he played that game, Declan Rice, he was playing alongside Manuel Lanzini. So I thought, well, Rice is always going to be the one that sits a little bit deeper when he's playing alongside Manu, isn't he? But what's he going to do alongside Thomas Souček? Now, last season, I still feel that a large part of the issues regarding Thomas Souček's form was the new role for Declan Rice. So today is the first time we're seeing Souček and Rice on the pitch at the same time. And I feel like Souček's going forward a bit more. I feel like Declan Rice is perhaps sitting a little bit more out the two of them today. So I don't know what you guys think. I'm interested to see what you guys think in the live chat to get it in. But I do think Souček's the one that's getting up the pitch a little bit more than often compared to Declan. Obviously got his goal, fantastic header, really good cross from Aaron Creswell as well. You tend not to really see players whip it in from... It's quite short, isn't it? He's in line with 18-yarder. There wasn't much. If you sort of were to measure the yards the ball actually travelled in mid-air from Creswell to Souček, I don't think it's that far. So a decent bit of pace on it, and really good goal from Souček actually. So let's see what you guys are all thinking in live chat. Let's get your thoughts in about not just the Souček and Rice thing. Like I said, that's the thing I'm sort of looking out for. But get whatever else into the live chat you're thinking. Let's see what you're all saying. Steve saying Rice and Souček look a little bit better. Whereas Richard's asking what dynamic in regards to them. So I don't think Richard agrees with me, but I think Steve does. So get them in. Hammer 1999, their left wing back is horrendous. Gaps for fun. Got to exploit that. Are you a Luton fan? Are you a Luton fan? I'm joking. I'm joking. Masuaku hasn't been that bad today. I don't think he's been that good either, but I don't think he's been bad. This is a Masuaku sort of criticism-free zone at halftime. I think he's been fine. But yeah, so the Luton left back doesn't look great, does he? It'd be nice to see Soufal getting at him a little bit more. Trev says Zuma looks a bit uncomfortable. Not getting the ball from under his feet. Maybe fitness, sharpness, not right yet. The one thing I will say is that I don't really blame him. If the ball at his feet's different, but in regards to if he is being a little bit standoffish, because I could imagine Moyes has probably said to him, don't do anything stupid. You're my only fit senior centre-back at present. Let's just keep it calm. Don't get injured. We can't afford another injury that we saw on Tuesday night, so just behave yourself, Kurt. Chippy does think that Rice playing a little bit deeper, at least more restrained, has supported the left, which needs supporting. Phil says he's perfect for the role as sweeper. Ian thinks Ben Rama's struggling. Players have been are even avoiding his call for the ball. Whereas Hammer 1999 says Souček's been excellent on and off the ball. More confidence on the ball. Best passing performance I've seen him have. Do you know something, mate? I thought he played really good against Rangers when he came on, Souček. I thought he was getting on the ball a lot more and moving the ball really well on Tuesday. So it's really good to see him continue into this game. This is where I do throw in there. It's only pre-season, though, because I think it's easy to do it in a friendly. Can he go and do it against maybe Manchester City is a bit of a tough one to sort of ask him to do it against, but certainly Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Brighton, can you go and do it against those teams as well? So that'd be interesting, but certainly very promising from Souček. Richard said Rice has to sacrifice himself for Souček. That's what bothers him about it. I get that. I do think Rice is more restrained, but I think that gets the best out of Thomas Souček. It's sort of, you've got to pick what partnership you prefer, I guess. Do you prefer the one where Rice sits and Souček goes, or the one where Rice goes and Souček is compromised a little bit? I guess you've got to choose between the two partnerships, haven't you? Iron Alpha says we can't hold Souček back for another season. He doesn't care if it makes Declan unhappy. He's leaving next season anyway. So I want him in his strongest position whilst we still have him. Yeah, I get that. Jay Walker, Cresswell's actually playing well defensively. One of their midfielders or wingers or somebody's a little tricky. He's gone past multiple players a few times. And Ben thinks Declan should stay back. Souček's better getting forward. Whilst Luke says 3 at the back. We don't need 2 defensive midfielders. So Souček is the spare man, so he has to get forward, a bit like Fellaini. Charles doesn't really care as long as we win. Neil agrees myself that Souček's getting forward a little bit more. He's noticed it as well. Scott's talking about what difference Ariola makes. I have to admit, that time Zuma did get caught out and Declan Rice came back and just sort of rolled it back to Ariola, who just first touch pass, 15 yards, boom, out to Alan Cresswell's feet. I thought, that was nice. I like that. I do like that.
Yeah, and that's sort of that quick one where he had the ball in his hands and the quick sort of hit on the counter where he just drops it, like sort of side. I don't know what you call it, but you know the kicks where they sort of kick it from the side like that, and it just sort of went flying over low towards the, I think it was Ben Rama on the left, and it didn't quite hit that man. But it's that stuff that Fabianski just never ever does, and that thing where you think, oh, just a little bit, just that little bit inch difference, and all of a sudden we would have been in there from a beautiful goal. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Do you think this is, and again, this is a question that might get answered on shows between now and the rest of the season because we've still got 2 weeks, but who would you suspect would start against Man City? This was something the chat were talking about. My gut still says Fabianski will be the person who'll start, but if both are fit, because obviously Fabianski isn't around today, I don't know if he's injured or if he's just time off or what, but if both are fit, who would you suspect would start the season? My gut says Fabianski.
Fabianski.
Yeah. There we go. I haven't done that. Sidewinder. Let's go with a sidewinder. That's a good solid phrasing of it. I back it. But yeah, I would agree. I think, listen, I want to see Ariola get more and more time as going towards as the season carries on. But I do think it will be Fabianski.
Yeah, I think I would like to see Ariola sort of as a number one, but I do think it'll be Fabianski. I think there's a difference between what I'd like to see and what I predict. I assume Fabianski's got an injury. He must do, right? Otherwise, he'd be on the bench at least.
I can't imagine a situation where he's not, because why is he not on the bench, like you say?
It depends on how serious this injury is. I mean, even if it's only a small one, it kicks him out for 2 weeks. That takes him out of the Man City game. That takes him out of the 2 weeks of training. It's only a week. I mean, even then, that's quite a lot, isn't it? That's literally half the preseason left. That means Ariola will play next Saturday as well. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see in regards to the injury. If I'm honest with you, my only concern heading into the Man City game right now, as this is sort of preparation for that, my only concern is the centre-back situation, to be honest with you, because, for obvious reasons with injuries and stuff. But that's my only worry, really. I think the rest of it, I'm okay with it. On the assumption the Skabaka deal's over the line before the Man City game, even if he's just on the bench, I'm okay with that because it's an option on the bench at least. I would like to see a bit more form from the attacking midfielders today and next Saturday. But if I'm honest, before today's game, when the lineup came out, I haven't really been expecting much from Ben Rama and Fornals. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I've got much from Ben Rama and Fornals in that first 45. But I had higher hopes for today's game from Nikola Vlasic whenever he comes onto the pitch. And so sort of like, I'm okay with it because the guy I'm hoping to see do something in the final third from a midfielder-wise isn't on the pitch yet. And I'm hoping that he can impress today. And I'm hoping that he gets a start next Saturday in France and impresses then. And almost forces his way into the starting lineup against Manchester City, if I'm honest with you, because he's been one of our brighter players in pre-season, Charlie. Now, you can't really reward everybody for pre-season form because it's only pre-season. But I think senior players that cost 25 million, I think you can reward them for pre-season form, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I think when you that's what I think. I think when you look at pre-season games, people have been feeling a certain way since like certain results and everything else. And I often say you can't take too much out of the negatives of preseason, but you can definitely take out the positives. If someone comes in and they're looking like they're fit and they're firing on all cylinders, then yeah, you give them the time to run. That should be a sign that you should be like having a little look. And like you say, I think Vlasic has been one of the brighter spots in that sense. So I would like to see. And also I think in this formation specifically, I think Vlasic might work a bit more. Because, you know, it's when we're playing the 4-2-3-1 and David Moyes invariably ends up putting him on the wing for some godforsaken reason, then it doesn't quite work because he has a lot of defensive duties. In this role, he would have that ever so slightly less, and he can play a bit more central because you have that natural width of the fullback of the wing backs already existing. Then you have the auxiliary ones that would be the fullbacks, usually in the sort of left and right centre backs getting forward into position. I think it could work. I would be interested. But the teams have just right now.
Last thing I'll say before I disappear regarding Vlasic today. He's probably going to be on the pitch at the same time as Antonio, which is good. So we're going to get Antonio on sort of fresh for half an hour and Vlasic for half an hour. I'd like to see the link up between them two, and I hope both of them, or at least one of them, can get on the score sheet anyway. We need Antonio to get a goal. We need Antonio to get a goal just to perk up his confidence a little bit ahead of that Man City game. Because like I said, even if we do sign Scamacca, I expect Antonio will start against Manchester City because...
Yeah.
That is David Moyes' striker. Scamacca isn't yet. So I'd like to see Antonio get a goal for his confidence. And fingers crossed for a positive review, Charlie. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I'm off towards the second half. Enjoy the second half, my friend.
Cheers, bro. Enjoy yourself. The West Ham team are out. We're just waiting on Luton. They aren't quite here yet. I think they're about to come out. So while we wait for them in the second half, I will just say one more time. If you aren't aware, let me try and pull it up. Where's the button? I've lost my buttons. I've lost my buttons. There we go. If you weren't aware, we unfortunately this week lost Peach, who was a massive supporter of these videos. Huge, probably the biggest supporter myself and Tom when we first started them and me had. And a wonderful, amazing human being. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier in the week, and there is a GoFundMe for him to get him a stone in the sort of Champions thing just outside the ground, and then any extra money going to his family. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, to go check it out. Literally any amount of money helps. But shout out to Peach. Shout out to Peach. What a man. One absolute legend. A couple of changes at halftime have been made. I'm seeing Mikel Antonio on the screen, I believe. We'll have a little deeps now as the teams come back out for the second half. Mikel Antonio, and Nikola Vlasic, are both on the pitch. Second half here at Kenilworth Road. Time to run two things as we go 1-0 up. Let's go. Big plays. Deploy the boys. Let's move. West Ham to kick off the second half. Jarrod Bowen to take it. I will update you on exactly who's playing where and what position, but Nikola Vlasic has come on alongside Mikel Antonio. Pablo Fornals has come off, and I believe Said Benrahma. I didn't see Said Benrahma. I believe it's I think it might be it's Said Benrahma. We just got confirmation of that on the screen. I believe it's a more traditional 4-2-3-1, but as the game kicks off and the sort of positioning is a bit more sensible, I'll let you know. We are changing balls for some reason. The balls are being changed. It looked like we were ready to do the switch, to do kickoff, but the balls have been switched. Second half is about to get underway here at the Best Worst Ground in the league, in the Football League. It's Kenilworth Road. It's West Ham United 1, Luton 0, and we're off. Big plays, ladies and gentlemen. Deploy the boys. Let's flipping go. Like I say, I suspect it will be a... I say it won't be a 4-2-3. No, I think it'll be the exact same formation probably, but as opposed to the 4-2-3-1, I think it'll be the exact same formation because the defense hasn't changed at all. So it'll be the exact same formation except with Vlasic on the left-hand side and Bowen now on the right with Mikel Antonio down through the center. Vlasic could play as a sort of, if we change it from a sort of 4-3 from a sort of 3-4-3 that we were playing to maybe a 3-4-1-2. Took me a second to figure out what the hell was going on there, but you could be doing that with Vlasic in the hole behind him, Mikel Antonio and Jarrod Bowen sort of as the strikers. But it's a good opportunity early doors from Luton down the left hand side. That number 24 again puts it in, but just cleared away by Ben Johnson relatively easily in the end. The clearance was a bit dodgy, but getting on that was relatively easy. Good to see you, the disabled team, sir. How much are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're grand. I hope yourself and Lee, of course. If you haven't already subscribed, I say this every time. Come on, but come on. If you haven't subscribed to the disabled team, I would highly recommend it. Great Leeds channel, Stu and Lee doing big plays. We have raised 1,925 pounds, Steve 50 in just over 24 hours, which is crazy. That's crazy. Mad. Again, we'll be interested to see if is it a 3-4-3 or is it a 3-4-2-1-2 or sorry, whatever I said. Or even a 3-4-2-1. Listen, there's lots of different numbers we can throw around, but I would like to see Vlasic basically as far forward as possible. I think he might be in defense at least, maybe playing at left, maybe playing on the left wing, although he's quite central there. As Luton try to play their way through into the area, they can't make it. Masuaku finds Vlasic, who starts charging forward, spreads it out wide to Bowen nicely. Mikel Antonio is sort of on the edge of the area, but no real good position to be found. Jared Bowen instead goes for goal. It was a vicious shot from just outside the D, but he drags it wide. But Jared Bowen may be better option to pass there. I'm not going to lie. He picks it up on the right-hand side from the pass from Vlasic, takes on one player who just sort of has to back out, the number 5, who's been very physical today. Just had to back off a little bit there as Jared Bowen just hits it strongly but widely. Maybe should have found Vlasic there, who was in a slightly better position. Antonio was also around, but not in a particularly great position. Still, it's pre-season. These are the sort of things you need to work out your system in pre-season. Luton getting pressed in a similar way we were in that first half. Just getting slight flashbacks to Rangers with the over press there, but it wasn't as bad. I'll tell you that much. It wasn't as bad. Yeah, I think he is playing on. I want to say he's sort of the left winger. I think we are playing a sort of 3 with Antonio in the middle, Bone on the right, and him on the left. But obviously, because of the left wing back situation that we have existing on the pitch, it means he's just naturally able to drift slightly more centrally, and so he's starting a lot more centrally than he was doing. A lot more centrally. He's not even quite close to the touchline, which is really good to see because that's his natural position. If you look at the stats from last season, for example, practically every game he played before moving here was in it as an attacking midfielder, and then the second he gets here, he basically plays nothing but left wing. Numbers wise, I think he played like 100 minutes for us in attacking midfield, which is kind of insane. Good piece of play by Mikel Antonio, pressurizing the defender who gets it away well, and Luton calmly work with the ball. It was good interception from Declan Rice, but I'll tell you what, some good play from Mikel Antonio. Good bully boy play. Abu, it was Thomas Souček who scored. Thomas Souček was the goal scorer in the first half of a header. Cross in from Aaron Cresswell from open play. Hope not, Drippy. Hope not. Can't lie. Listen. I will never be. I haven't got that confidence like Russell. Nice piece of play from Ben Johnson down the line to Mikel Antonio, who plays it across. It's a bit awkward, but Ben Johnson manages to get across in anyway. Nothing to come from it. Mikola Vlasic battles for it. Mikel Antonio battles for it in West Ham. Good physical presence there, getting in and around, making them a nuisance, making it happen. Out right to the left is after Masuaku there. Aaron Cresswell's there for maybe the deep cross. Masuaku's cross in doesn't really make the pass the first man, if we're being honest, and that is it's about as easy a foul as you're going to give, if we're being honest. Thomas Souček was I don't know who he's done in there, but he's done someone in. Poor cross from Arthur Masuaku in the build up to it. It ends up at the feet of one of the Luton Town players who just sort of shows himself in front of the ball, knowing that Thomas Souček's going to come in and make a collision, and Thomas Souček is all too happy to oblige, goes through the back of him. Nothing really dangerous, nothing really difficult, but about as textbook a foul as you're ever going to see. Vlasic has come on at half time. Oh, nice from Adebayo. That's a really nice ball around the back for Luton. Tries to get around the goalkeeper, does, but Aaron Cresswell goes and stops that. Fair play, Aaron Cresswell. I tell you what, he's had his critics for a long time, but he's done really. He's had a couple of moments today where he's played really, really well, and that was another one of them. But a really nice play from Luton. Adebayo creating it, getting into the open space. The number 7 flying through for Luton, takes it round the goalkeeper, but the only way he can do that is by taking a really heavy touch round Areola. Another opportunity here from Luton. Adebayo's got the ball. Number 11 tries to just slot it across. That was a poor decision-making there. Just not quite there. Just a bloody hell. Full-blooded header from the number 5. Unsurprisingly for Luton. Yet once more being very physical. But like I said, it was a nice play from Adebayo. Hit spines number 18, who just slotted through ball for number 7. He's through one-on-one with Areola. He does manage to get round Areola, but the only way he could do it is with a heavy touch. And Aaron Cresswell flying back, intercepts it and gets it away. Good defending, but Luton Town out of nowhere showing a bit of spirit here. Bit of spirit. I tell you, number 5 is unbelievably physical for them. Maybe starting to look like it's a bit more of an opportunity for Luton to do something here. You know, first it seemed as the first half went on that it was very much our game, and then as the second half started, it seemed to be much of the same. But Luton having a nice spell here, although that ball played out to Mikel Antonio, and this is his kind of positions, charging down. He's got 3 players around him, and he manages to somehow keep hold of the ball. Fair play. It's ended up at Vlasic via Declan Rice. Vlasic turns, hits it. Antonio was in the 6-yard box and can't get the touch. Vlasic hits the low shot from the left-hand side. The goalkeeper gets a hand to it well. Mikel Antonio is there just waiting to sort of goal hang it into the net. And it's one of those ones where he's just so close that he can't react quick enough. He can't act quick enough, but very close. Very bloody close. Itchy nose. You called it. I can't put it either way. You called it. You know, we're getting a lot of Vlasic love. You love to see it. Loving hearing the screams from the pitch. Don't know who it was, but someone was just absolutely belting out some orders to someone. Could have been a West Ham player, could have been a Luton player, could have been the Luton manager, could have been David Moyes. Don't know. It didn't sound like David Moyes, but there was just screaming going on. Seeing a replay of that opportunity there. Mikel Antonio is the sort of position you want him in, just picking up the ball and charging at the defence. He had 1 in front of him, 2 behind him, but he just doesn't have that pace on the ball he used to have at times where it's too close to him. He can't kick it and run, which is very much his dribbling style. It's not Messi where he's got that close control. Thomas Souček just stopping that one. It's not Messi where you have the sort of close control dribble, right? Mikel Antonio doesn't really dribble with the ball. He sort of kicks it ahead and cuts. Oh, this is a good opportunity once again for Mikel Antonio. He's through his one-on-one, and it's a good save. This time he doesn't. Mikel Antonio has had every type of one-on-one opportunity so far this preseason, and he has scored none of them. They're 3 different ones now. You have the one against Ipswich, which didn't end up very well for him. You had the one the other day where, again, it didn't end up well for him. And this time he takes it the right time. He takes it earlier. He hits it, tries to place it, but the goalkeeper does really well. Just reads it as well as you're going to like, and doesn't work. Mikel Antonio, will he ever get a goal again? I don't believe so. But we're going to get a corner from it anyway. Jared Bowen to take it on the right-hand side. Puts it into a good area. Thomas Souček was hanging up, trying to find it. It was just a little bit over him off Masuaku. I tell you what, went for a spectacular volley from about 30 yards away, and it deflects off a Luton defender. West Ham still have possession of the ball in a very good advanced area here, but a bold maneuver from Arthur Masuaku to try that one. West Ham passing it around fairly unthreateningly, about 35, 40 yards away from goal. Just sort of, quite sort of, you know, feels very much like a kick around after work in Barcelona in the middle of June. Do you know what I mean? That kind of just sort of, we'll sort of pass this ball around. You know? Maybe I'm being harsh. It doesn't feel like there's much purpose to it, is what I'd say. He's not a striker. Ger, you're not wrong. He's not a striker. Still probably should score. We're not going to allow that. Yeah, look at that. I mean, Antonio is awful. Thank God we get a new striker. Antonio needs to chip it sometimes, but at 32, maybe it's too late to learn. Lee, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Masuaku trying to whip the ball in. Couldn't quite manage it. Antonio gets the ball, controls it. Can't quite spin away from the defender. And it's going to be a goal kick. Good defending there. Good defending up against... Good defending up against Mikel Antonio there from the Luton number 32. Once again, he's a large lad. And I'll tell you what, he dealt with that one well. Some more screams there, which was very exciting. We improved up front since Antonio come on, though, even if you've lost 1v1. Very true. Very true, Troy. Yeah, I think you're looking at that front three. It looks a little bit... It looks like there's more going on with it right now. I think Mikel Antonio just is the striker, right? I don't think you could put Bowen up there really and have it be super effective. I think it will do when you're in a pinch, when everyone else is injured, but you don't want to do it by choice. That's not to blame him entirely for it. Don't get me wrong. But Mikel Antonio just brings something completely different to that role. And I think, Vlasic is having a good game next to him, and Bowen's not exactly playing bad either. But Mikel Antonio is being very involved. And he's the flick on there trying to get Vlasic. Just good. I think the name called out was Campbell. It was good work in the midfield area. But again, Mikel Antonio is being very heavily involved in this. Every ball is going towards him. They're crisps. He's wrong. Oh, awkward from West Ham, and Luton. There's a great opportunity. He hits it. Just dragged wide. The crowd went wild. That is a very good opportunity for Luton that goes wanting. Ben Johnson nods the ball away, and it's control. The number 8 goes for it originally, swings and a miss, but it still lands at the feet of, I think, number 22, who it's a good opportunity, and he doesn't even get it on target. It's the sort of ones where you're like, you've got to at least get it on target. Doesn't even work Ariola at all. And it goes well wide, and West Ham have a goal kick, but another good opportunity for Luton. Bowen goes down there. Going to get a free kick in the centre circle. Ball gets delivered to him via Thomas Souček, and it's just one of those ones where, I tell you what, it's that number 5 again. It's Luton's captain, and he is taking no prisoners in this preseason friendly. One of Luton's players is down. He was standing next to the referee having a conversation with him, but he's now gone down, literally onto the floor, and is demanding something. Don't know what. But then number 5, I tell you what, if there's any Luton fans in the chat, I quite like him because he's come into a preseason friendly with all of the passion of a World Cup final. My man is just, he's just not having it. I kind of respect it. As patently needless and dangerous as it might be, I do just kind of respect it. Come on, Dirk. Need a bit more positivity. He's not here yet. We're getting a cheeky drinks break from everyone. Just having a little moment there for some reason. Fair enough. There we go. Listen, Steve. Facts are the matter. Yeah. Now, is that true? Don't think so, but I'm taking it and I'm running with it. And I want everyone to know that. Johnson's not good, need an upgrade. Don't necessarily disagree with you, Smeagol, on the upgrade bit. I wouldn't say he's not good, but I will see. I'll reserve judgment. On him. We already have an upgrade in Soufal. Would he play much at centre-back? I don't know. Have I been impressed with him today? Not particularly. But he would, at being right centre-back, he would be Zuma, Aguerd, Dawson, Diop, Ogboni. He'd probably be 6th choice. 7th choice, Cresswell, probably. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with that to some extent. Iron Alpha coming through with the lightning take of Bowen. He's okay. Do you know what, Iron? I agree. Kufal behind Jared Bowen. I know you were talking about it in a fitness sense, by the way. It's a little jape. It's just a little jape there. Mike said it here. Remember to like stream, everyone. Listen, it's pre-season, so I haven't been asking about these things, but I do need to sort of get into the flow of it a little bit more. So if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and leave a little hit on that bell notification so you don't miss out on future streams. Remember, we're the only West Ham channel last season to do a watch along every single game. And this is a good opportunity for Luton. Flipped around, number 24 puts it in. Areola gets to stop, and then the second one goes flying over. It was a really nice opportunity again for Luton, but they just fluffed the lines a little bit. It felt dangerous. The ball comes out to the left-hand side to one of their players. Adebayo does well. He's doing good target man hold-up play, and the ball down the line for number 18 was good. There was so much time and space. Sufal was nowhere to be seen. Johnson comes across to try and stop him. And then on the underlap, number 24 hits it first time across. Areola saves it with his feet, and it comes back to him, and he's back and punts it over. Remember, everyone, we were the only channel last season on West Ham to do a watch-along every single game last season. And we're aiming to do the exact same this season. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that future stuff, because it's impossible. I do this by myself, right? And so it is impossible unless you are here with me. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't work. Right? Doing it by yourself is crazy. Watch every other channel. They almost do it with 2 people, sometimes more. So the fact that I do it by myself is necessary for you being here, basically. So if you haven't already, bell notifications to miss out on future ones, because I would be very, very appreciative of it. And like the video, hey, like I say, I've not really been asking for it in preseason because it just is what it is. But we're at 251. Oh, we're at 251. So hey, screw it. We might get to 300. If 50 of you did it right now, we'd get 300. I don't think it'll happen, but it's worth a go. A rare mistake from that number 32, and Mikel Antonio almost manages to get through. Ball over the top. Then number 32 stumbles, and Mikel Antonio all of a sudden starts charging round to try and get to the ball first before number 32 gets there and the goalkeeper, and neither happens. Manuel Lanzini coming on now for Thomas Souček, I believe. Or is it for Masuaku, maybe? It is the Arth Masuaku. The graphic is confirmed. It is Arth Masuaku. I couldn't tell whether it was a 6 or an 8 on the board. But maybe a formation change. Maybe we do change to the 4-2-3-1 now. We go for a more conventional back 4 with, I guess, one of Sufal or Johnson at centre back. I would suspect it be maybe Ben Johnson, but Lanzini's come on. So Harrison Ashby's coming on at the same time. Interestingly, it seems like Ashby has gone across. So I'm not sure who Ashby's come on for. But Lanzini's come on for Masuaku, but instantly gone into that sort of front line, which looks like it might be a formation change, potentially. But then again, Ashby's come on, and he's come on in the same position as Masuaku. He's gone straight on the ball there and tried to whip the ball, and it's not quite worked out. But maybe we're keeping the exact same formation, except Ashby's at left wing back. And then I guess I don't know who Lanzini came on for. It looks like it might have been Souček, potentially. No, Souček's still there. Don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. But good to see. Yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, good to see a bit of you. Not against it. Is it Bowen who came off? If it's Bowen who came off, then that makes sense. Just fitness-wise, you know. Ashby for Bowen, yeah. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. And I don't know who I pulled up before Paul. Whoever it was, thank you. Appreciate it. Bowen off, appreciate it. Irons. I don't know who else said it. I appreciate it, though, whoever you are. Whoever it was, I'm sorry that I've forgotten you. I'm an idiot. It does look like the formation is staying the same now. Just with Harrison Ashby at left wing back and Lanzini taking up Bowen's role, essentially. Johnson getting done under pressure once more again there, and Offside from Luton. It was a good opportunity. But yeah, Johnson again getting done under pressure. Him and Zuma were the two. Geo picked out Zuma, I picked out Johnson, who were the ones who were sort of most concerning under pressure, under the press, under the cosh. It's not really worked out for either of them, but we've worked out that one with thankfully with just an offside. They're going to make some substitutions. They have a number 9 coming on. Thankfully, it's not just me. You know what I mean? Gio puts in a hell of a lot of work. Gonzo does his thing every day on the channel as well. So as a unit, and then we've got people who do stuff on the Patreon as well. I haven't mentioned it too much, but patreon.com/HammersChat. Wait until the first of the month to do it because then you get more bang for your buck. But Rebecca, who does all of the audio stuff over there, she does an incredible work. Ray, my co-host on there. We have some other stuff coming to the Patreon soon. Hopefully. So yeah, it's one of those things where there's a little group of us who do it, but I appreciate it, Sharky, I do. I just see I'm not scared of Geo. I mean, I'm not either, but I've got no idea where this is coming from. I've missed something in the chat. But I'm not scared of him either. Whatever he said, he's wrong. Don't know what he said, but he's wrong. I'm backing it. I'm backing the beef. Ariola with big boot up the pitch and is headed straight away from Luton. Bit of head tennis going on. West Ham come away with it. Oh, bit dink over the top. This is a nice opportunity. Masuaku on the ball. Couldn't quite find anything there. It was Vlasic who passed it through. Maybe that was Ash. Maybe that might be an Ashby even. No, it was Lanzini. It's Lanzini who's running around. The counter-attack has definitely looks better with this 5 at the back formation. The counter-attack specifically has definitely looks better with Mikel Antonio. He's like the ultimate counter-attack striker, really. It reminds me a little bit to some extent, to a much worse extent, of Jamie Vardy in the Leicester season than when they won, where you just have like the perfect counter-attack striker. It just really works for him, but we look a lot more effective with him in that role. A lot more competent. It's still 1-0, 20-something minutes to go. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another goal in it, but I also don't know who that would come for. You tell me Luton get a goal, I'd be like, yeah, okay, they've had a couple of chances. It wouldn't shock me, but you tell us have a goal, I'd be like, yeah, you say we have 2, I'd be like, yeah. Kazuma again, just looking a little bit awkward there. The ball, long ball over the top from Luton into a sort of not super dangerous area, and he commits quite early to come out and try and get the header, and he completely misses it, Kurt Zuma. And again, a bit of awkward passing. Antonio taken down from the number 32. Luton have learned today that the referee's not going to give him any cards or anything because it's not that deep. And so every time they are just dragging us to the floor, and I respect it, you know what I mean? Like there, Mikel Antonio spins the 32, gets completely wrong side of him, who literally just grabs him and pulls him to the floor instead. It is what it is. You know, we move. Commentary for Souček, maybe. Commentary can't afford Souček. I'm not against it. I'd rather see Souček play a little bit longer in this position, especially if we are gonna gun with this 5 at the back going forward to some extent. Then I'd like to see just Souček getting a bit more game time to get back into that role because he was one of the most important. Yet again, just Luton just hacking down Vladimir Soufal there. Luton Town have just Manuel Lanzini's just gone across to him. I think it's Luton's number 24, who just completely takes out Kufau. I'll remind you that in a second. He goes forward. It's a heavy touch, and he just goes flying in. It's not. And then and then Manuel Lanzini as well to avoid the tackle, and just lays off a pass. But yeah, as he's walking away there from a very obvious foul and quite needless, if we're being honest, Lanzini just goes across to him as if to ask, "Bro, what are you doing?" It was a thing. Big boot on a pitch looking for Mikel Antonio. Yeah, weird stuff from Luton there. Like I say, they're I'm enjoying it because I do like a good, robust challenge. But I'll be honest with you, it's very needless. It's very needless what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? You know, a 1-0 away to Luton doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi as a 6-6 against, you know, Race Rovers or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm scared of all Scotsmen. Pringle. Yeah. It's to do with the Pringle debate. Is that what? Okay. Then Declan Rice hits it, deflects off one of the Luton defenders who stays down. I think he's going to be fine. He's getting back up, but just a shot from range there. If Geo said then it's Pringles or crisps, then I agree with him. If he's even dared disagree with me, then he's wrong. You know, no fears, zero miedo. Oh, my nose. West Ham in a good position again. Mick Antonio in the area with the ball, just at a standstill, lays it out wide to Soufal. This is where we need Thomas Souček, who's not getting forward as quickly as he was in the first half, getting in and around there. Lanzini finds Declan Rice. Thomas Souček, get in there, mate. Get in there. He gets involved in this sort of short passing. We're slowly getting back further and further back. But Lanzini with a nice bit of skill there puts it forward. But his pass, I'm not going to lie, was pretty god-awful. And it's going to be a goal kick to Luton. There's a moment there where it was another good opportunity. We had a lot of people in interesting positions where anything could have happened. And we just end up really doing nothing with it. Should have got further forward. Thomas Souček should have been in the area. I wanted the secondary even be a hint of opportunity in a cross to just bang it in towards his head. But he was sort of playing a little bit more sensibly and conservatively. Got those two words combined and went with sensitively there. And then it ends up just being crap in the end, doesn't it? So what was great about that, I saw it's a point of view list, and I saw Lewis, what Pringles have you been eating? And I went, I need to scroll up and see what Lewis said, and just saw it. And was like, what? A very loud announcement happening from Luton Town there. Don't know what she was saying, but it was very loud. It was very loud. I had to turn it down. Yeah, clearly is the answer. Then I'm not scared. They're crisps, bro. Can't fight facts. You know what I mean? Can't fight facts, bro. Campbell has come off for Luton for Carlos Mendes Gomez, which I wouldn't have informed you about recently, really, because it doesn't really make too much of a difference for us. But just what a name. Carlos Mendes Gomez. Scenes. Pereira is coming from them. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think Declan Rice is coming off as well for Connor Coventry. Interesting. Yeah, I don't disagree with it. Giving in like I say, I wanted to see Souček getting a bit more time, giving Connor Coventry a bit more. Do you know what? The 5 could work more for Connor Coventry as well. It's a bit more of a dynamic role. Bit more of a box-to-box type thing, a bit more all action. It could work out a little bit better for him than rather than just sitting or just going for it or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Free kick for Luton in a good area for what can only be described as a cynical pull down. The constant it goes down quite theatrically, but it is what it is. I never have, Steve, but at some point in my life I need to, but I feel like I need to lose significant weight before even attempting to do it, just in case at this weight I died. But I do want to. Geo has, I can tell you that much, and I don't mean that in a sort of Scottish prerogative sense. He genuinely has. We've had conversations about it. Him and Bez went and got some, but I do want one at some point. Always a good opportunity for Luton, and it goes wanting. No one there to do it. Referee waves play on as one of the Luton players were down. It was played in the initial chance. There was a lot of boys in and around the box, and then it came across in a really dangerous area, the corridor of uncertainty, but there was just no one there at all for Luton. And now West Ham bring the ball away, looking for a counter-attack, but as per usual with us today, very slowly, and instantly it's been nipped out, and Adebayo does well, takes it past one. He's doing well here, pulls it back across into a good area, and Thomas Souček just covering well and nicely, just stops any of that nonsense from going on. And it happens. It happens. Good work. Oh, it's too foul. A little bit of a reverse pass for Mikel Antonio there. You love to see it. Mikel Antonio puts it in. Oh, just over the head of Vlasic. Can't quite get there. Connor Coventry in the edge of the area has the ball. Souček, I'll be honest with you, too deep on the ball. I want him in and around. In and around. Pings it out to Antonio. Ooh, who tried? It was very close to a crap Dennis Bergkamp, but he almost managed it. We get the replay there for the Luton chance. A pass, and it was pulled back with his head, a header back across goal, and there's a great opportunity, and no one gets that space. We defended a pull back. It's happened. I have. It's a very nice man. I didn't realize it was him, but yeah. I realized it was him a second after, but we were talking. Well, I met him, and then he was talking, and I was like, he clearly realized I had the look on my face as if to go, I reckon, why do I know you? I know you for some reason. Why do I know you? And then he went, oh, you probably recognize my voice. And I was like, oh, X, good to meet you, bro. Very nice, man. It's a great question, Stu. It's an excellent question. I don't think Major's here today. So I'll have to wait at some point until Major's here, because I think it's very important that I do it when Major's here, given the conversation I've had with Major about it many times. But yeah, I trust me, it's going to happen. Like I said, we had the conversation on the show last night with Frankel and that about it. So it is going to happen. I'm getting a Donna, but we'll see when. This sounds like heaven. Sounds like heaven. I've got an orange Yorkie in the fridge, and I'm very excited about this. Sorry, I will talk about the match in a second, but I'm very excited about the fact there is an orange Yorkie in the fridge. I had my first one like 4 days ago, and it was incredible. And I've got another, and I'm like, yes. I went to Tesco this morning, and it was there, and I was like, yes. Yes. Foul for West Ham, number 32, taking down Mikel Antonio. To which we get a beautiful, one of my favorite things a football player does, when there's a foul given against their team, but they have possession, where they point at the ball or pick up the ball as if to go, but we have the ball, as if that doesn't make it a foul. It's one of my favorite things people do. Dan Potts coming on, ladies and gentlemen, former West Ham Youth Academy product. Daniel Potts coming on for Adebayo. So that's one threat coming off. I feel like it's just going to hold up our lead a little bit, but former left back at West Ham, Dan Potts, of course, the son of Steve, came through when we played most of his games when we were in the Championship under Sam Allardyce. Looked decent. Looks all right, to be fair to him. He's come on. He's just come on for Luton, which is always good to see. Coventry didn't mean to do what can only be described as a Zizou turn, but he did there, and it was beautiful. That time, tackled, fouled. Souček loses out on the ball, and it's a good opportunity for Luton to go on a counter-attack. Like I say, Adebayo's not here anymore, so that makes me a little bit calmer about it, but it's just as active as ever. It's down on the left-hand side too. Potts tries to play it in. He gets confused. He plays it to the claret and blue man. You love to see it. You love to see it. My back. It's just not the one today. This chair, I need to get a new chair. I know I've been saying it for a long time, but I can't decide whether I'm going to wait until after my holiday or not. I'm just talking out loud. I'm just running through things in my brain. The best way to eat Pringles is to eat 9 at once. I don't disagree. Oh, opportunity for West Ham. Or it was not the best pass you've ever seen from Lanzini. I keep trying to call him Masuaku because it's Manuel, and my brain keeps going Manu. It's just a problem. Anyway, the point is, it wasn't the best cross. It comes to Ashby, nothing happens of it. It stings the roof of your mouth and it feels delightful. If you're not doing this, I don't want to talk to you, quite frankly. Lewis, you raise a good point. I once had a competition to see how many we could shove in our mouths between me and my mate. And I think I did 11 at once. I think, but it was such a long time ago now and it was very late at night and I hadn't had much sleep, that I feel like the only true thing to do would be to do it again to really find out how many. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I like it. It's just, do you know what else is good? Talking about Twixes. The white Twix is very good. Very good. But yeah, orange Yorkies are decent. I can't act like him. Good opportunity for the number 10 for Luton, who hits it, and it's just straight into Kurt Zuma, who barely had to move. And it's a corner to Luton. 8 minutes to go. The crowd firing up for Luton Town, who have a corner. They're playing the ball around nicely, just outside the area. West Ham, not really in great positions. Usually, I'll be honest, in pretty good positions like that when teams are passing the ball around against us. But that felt a little bit all over the shop. I mean, we're playing three at the back for the first time in a while. We're playing some youth players in there, people who are in the wrong position. So it doesn't surprise me entirely, but not competent is what I'd say. Ball in from Luton from the corner is lofted into the centre, and Areola very easily just comes and collects that. They were looking for the number 9, but it doesn't quite work out. He's just going to hang around. Luton have come to play today. I'll tell you what, Luton have come to play today. They've been deploying all of the tricks. Robust challenges, pullbacks, cynical manoeuvres when Areola had the ball there, just to make sure he can't kick it, just standing in front of him. They are not treating this as a preseason friendly. They've come to play, and I can respect that. Orange arrows are good. I've never had an orange arrow. But I tell you what, that sounds like something I would be very interested in. Yeah, I didn't know either. I'll be real with you. I didn't know until the other day when I went into the flipping shop and it was there. But they are good. They are very good. Downs is coming on. Flynn Downs is coming on for, I believe, Thomas Souček. Good to see Flynn Downs, my lad. Oh, they don't even watch this. That makes sense then, because I'd never seen him before the other day. Now I've had two trips to shop. 2 trips to shop, 2 orange Yorkies. Zuma just punts that one clear. Can a Dean, I think it was Sheelan, report to the nearest steward? Was the call from the Luton Town officials there? Luton sort of passing the ball around relatively calmly in and around the halfway line. This is sort of more standard West Ham fare of defensive play, sort of keeping their shape, making it sort of a bit annoying to get in and around us, sort of just holding true. Like I say, I think the formation's been a little bit off balance with that sort of stuff today. You know, it doesn't entirely surprise me given the fact we're playing 5 at the back. We've got 2 fullbacks at centre-back positions, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that that's been a bit wonky. But that was a lot better. Just sort of keeping true, staying in those positions, and just forcing Luton to pass it around the halfway line in a very non-dangerous manner. Big ball up the pitch from Areola. Antonio gets the control down. He gets 2 lucky bounces, but still maintains possession of the ball somehow. Lays it off nicely to Harrison Ashby, who playing disappointingly on that left-hand side means he's going to have to cut in on his right-hand foot. On his right hand, onto his right foot. I hate myself every single time And so we end up passing the ball around just because that split second where it could be a cross instead takes 4 touches, and you know, it is what it is. But Lanzini with the ball now, trying to take his way through, does well to find Antonio, who decides that the Noble Solicitor sign needs a big bit of ball in it. He does. He sees it, and he just went for it. Big incorrect decisions from Mikel Antonio there. Lanzini does really well to take it past one, finds Antonio nicely to pull it back, and Vlasic is there in relative space. There wasn't too many other options, but he just decides, yeah, with my weak foot, I'm going to score this. Lewis. I will do that. That's the thing. I will do that. I will stream it on my channel, A Top Lad. Just me seeing how many Pringles I can fit in my mouth. You know what I mean? I will do it. I don't think I won't. That will 100% happen. I don't know if it happens next week because I'm going on holiday on the 30th, so I don't really know what's going to happen yet. But don't think like I'm not going to write that down on my. I have a document full of loads of different ideas for videos that I want to do, and some I've recorded and just need editing and other stuff, right? But I have loads of different ideas. Don't act like I'm not instantly going and putting that right to the top. Live stream, Pringle challenge. How many can you fit in your mouth? I will do it. He went for it. He gunned for it, Irons. He saw him and he went, watch this. It is a very rugby style ground. You know what I mean? You know? I personally only eat free range Pringles. The ones made in captivity just don't taste as good. Respect it. Strong start, Steve, and I can respect it. Vlasic lays it short, Downs, back out wide to Sufal, tries to put it into a nothing really area. Ashby manages to keep it to Cresswell. Again, I don't mind Ashby. He's getting in good positions. I thought I think defensively he's looked a bit shaky this preseason, but certainly attacking wise, I've really liked his output. So potentially playing a 5 at the back again would suit him a bit better, but it would have to be on this right hand side because playing a left wing back who is right footed just feels awkward. Unless they're specialized in that role, sure, but in a role where they're playing across and they have to stop and pull it back every single time, it just doesn't feel like it's right. It's difficult to say, Stu. I wouldn't say so. They've looked better in this game than they have looked the rest of preseason. It's been a much more proficient performance. It's not been lightning, but much more proficient. That's a good ball to Ashby, who again, he has to put it in first time under pressure on his weak foot, and it just doesn't happen. So we're getting there. I wouldn't say we're entirely ready yet, but we're getting there. We, of course, have one more preseason game next weekend before City will kick off the week after. I won't be doing a watch-along for that because I will be away. Like I said, I'm going away on the same day that match happens on holiday, which is annoying because I booked it as the last. I knew I'd probably miss one preseason game anyway because I booked it being just before the Man City game, knowing we could have that time off and need to be back for the Man City game. But it does mean I'll miss that last preseason friendly. Unfortunately, Vlasic does well on the turn there. Lays it short to Manuel Lanzini, but the pass was not the one and Lanzini can't quite make it there. And we're about to come to an end. I would recommend you all to just like the video if you haven't already. Let's see where we got to in the end. We got to 264 scenes. Absolute scenes. Fair enough. 264. You love to see it. And one last shout, if you haven't already, Peach's GoFundMe is in the chat. Have a gander, have a look. Anything you can give would help the family massively through an incredibly awful and tough time. And a huge fan of Hammer's Chat, a huge fan of West Ham, one of the most positive, supportive people I've ever met in my life. So his GoFundMe is linked in the chat. If you can give literally anything, then that would be a beautiful, amazing thing to do. If you can't, of course, no worries as well. Yeah. But West Ham coming to the end here. Remember, before I go, as this is probably the last preseason friendly I'll do, subscribe to the channel because we are the only West Ham channel who did a watch along every single match day last season, and we're planning to do the exact same thing this season. So hit the bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of those future videos because we got Europa Conference League coming up. We got Manchester City coming up, first game of the season. We got a now spicier fixture with Nottingham Forest. There is going to be a corner to Luton right at the end of this game. They're going to have time to take this, I suspect, and then maybe the game would be over. But if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and stick around because Geo will be, of course, here to do the full review of the game right after this. So look forward to that. But anyway, Here comes the corner to Luton, right at the depth of this game, the depths of the half. Short, taken, played in, header. It's a great opportunity, and it's in, and it's Luton who have scored. Just a beautiful piece of horrendous defending right at the end. And if you were going to guess who scored, it was the guy who's been unbelievably aggressive the entire game. Luton score. Luton 1, West Ham United 1. I suspect the whistle will go anytime after the kickoff happens, but a goal right at the death from a corner from the right hand side is lofted in off the short corner. Initial header from Dan Potts, completely open, as you would expect. He's a short left back, can't really get a proper header on it, but it just lands at the feet of number 5, who just has lost his marker and manages to scramble it in. The captain, Sonny Bradley, the most aggressive man on the football pitch, scores. And it's West Ham United 1, Luton 1, right at the depth. Right at the depth. Nothing shocking about that. But West Ham have kicked off. The game's carrying on, punted forward. Antonio tries to hook it towards Soufal. Dan Potts stops that one, plays it down the line. Well, I'll tell you what's cute, that one. He's done very well there. But West Ham sneaky in there. Soufal and Antonio working for it. Antonio a little bit awkward. That's very nicely done. I don't know what Luton player did that, but just a nice control, just taking it around Soufal. And there is the final whistle. So the final score here does end up being Luton Town 1, West Ham United 1, with an unbelievably late goal. A short corner has done us in. It did us in constantly last season when we were trying it, and it has done us in on the other end. But it is what it is. A better performance from West Ham, much more competent performance. Far from an exciting game, but much better than it was this preseason. You can't act like it hasn't been. But at the end of it, it comes to nothing in a 1-1 draw. There will be one more preseason game. I don't remember who that's against. It will be there. Hey, if somehow the train strikes screw me over and I can't get the coach or whatever that we're getting, then I might be here for it. But at this point, I doubt it. I don't know what the plan is, but there will be at least a build-up show on the channel. However, that's all future stuff, ladies and gentlemen, because right now we have a review with Geo talking through the game. So make sure to stick around for that because it will be happening in just a moment. Thank you very much to Tasman307 for the £2. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, it's Lens. Thank you very much. I knew it was someone in France. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all of that good stuff, and enjoy the review with Geo in a very short moment. See you later, everyone. Come on, you irons. Run 2 things, all that good stuff. Let's go. Bye.